What's going on, everybody? Who we 186 back again with the Overrated Podcast, episode 117. We 186 here. With me, as always, is Traditionalist 101. What's going
Oh
on,
yeah,
man?
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Traditionalist 101 is here. Holding on to tradition is the most important thing for all people and for society. But we need to really get this thing going. I feel so ashamed because even with the time difference, we're still ending up starting at
Bro,
8.
this time difference, like I bro, it's 6 o'clock and it's already dark outside.
Yeah, but this is nothing new. We've
I
been dealing
know,
with
I
this for.
know, but I hate fallback. No, you know what I normally do? I normally request that Saturday off so that I don't I can get like an extra hour of sleep because I work overnight, and what I've done for the last 5 6 you know daylight saving times, I normally request that day off, and I forgot to do it
Really.
this yeah, I forgot to do it this year. And but
So that's
we were like super dead, but it is the day drug on extra long because of the extra hour.
so that's like a so that's like a tradition for you. You like to request days off on the time change when your time changes.
Yeah, yeah. Only when
Wow.
it's back. When it's spring forward, I don't really care either way.
Well, when it falls back, you do get the extra hour of sleep.
Yeah, but like, bro, but like the especially now that I'm doing like it's like I had the side gig driving, and like driving at night, at 6 o'clock, and you're in it, like I don't like it. I don't like it.
It wait. So you just don't like to. So it's not because the days seem longer. You just don't like the fact that it gets dark quicker.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Hmm. I mean, it is a little. I mean, it does get a little hard to get used to. Maybe like within a week or so. I think within a week or so you might be able to get used to it. But I've heard of a few people complaining already. It's not just you, but
I'm sure Randy
several
will complain.
people.
I'm sure.
Oh, so
I'm sure.
Ryan Reynolds is complaining also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So, but anyway, let's see if we could do this quick. How was your week?
Uh, not. I mean, it was straight for the most part, but when it comes to sports, not great. Not great. Not great.
When it comes
First
to
off, yeah, sports.
okay,
Now the Heat did win on Friday, and the first like play-in games, but these courts are fucking hideous. These
I've
courts.
I've yeah, I've heard a couple of people complain about that. Yes,
What are your thoughts on it?
I just think it looks just. I mean, I don't want to say look hideous. It just looks out of place. You know what I'm saying? Like it just look unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? It's like it almost. I know this is a little far fetched, but it just sometimes when you look at it, it feels as if someone just put a whole bunch of graffiti on the court. That's that's how it looks like to me.
You know what bothers me the most about it is that they're all the courts are the same, and the only change is the color, and the colors are so obnoxious. They're so loud, and the
Oh,
Heat,
okay.
and the Heat have this court. They have a new court right now that looks so much better. It's not their traditional court. They have a different court. They have a Heat culture court, and it looks so much better than those others.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the thing is that and to me, I like the fact that you have like different types of courts, but with those, they look hideous and they all look the same. The only difference is the color. And
Freaking
then
San Diego's made a touchdown. Oh my gosh.
ready? Damn, ready? Damn, that was quick.
Okay. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the only difference is that it's just the color. And if you have, like, let's say for example, the Heat, the Raptors, and the Bulls, they all have red. So all those courts look the same. The only difference is the logo.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with all the teams that have blue. and they all have the same design. The only difference is the color, and the colors look terrible. The colors look terrible. It was lazy. It burns my eyes. It's awful.
It burns your eye. Okay,
Yeah,
so I guess it's just too exotic for you.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then let me see if we have any comments on this. I know Malta was there. Shout out to Malta. The trophies. Are you talking about the trophy on the court? Because that's the NBA Cup trophy that they have. That's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
So David's in the chat too. How you doing, bro? And um, Ryan Meadows in the chat spewing his nonsense as usual.
What's going
So
on, Ryan? So I know for a fact that's not who you're going to be voting for. You're just trolling just to troll. But yeah, go ahead. Oh man.
yeah. So and then Saturday, the Canes lose, right? And they look and defensively we look great, but the problem is we have our quarterback stinks, and then you have that, and then we have to go against FSU, who are excellent this year. We're gonna get our asses kicked. We have to go up there.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We were gonna have to go up to Doak Campbell. We're gonna get our asses kicked, and like I said, once it goes 14-0, I'm done with the game. I'm changing the channel.
Why?
Because I know they're going to lose. And truth be told, there's very few teams on the planet that I hate losing to more than FSU.
You only saying that because that's the team that I like. That's why.
No, I hate FSU with a passion. I know
Why?
you just like them. I know you just like them just to like them, but I hate them with a passion.
I like them since high school, so I know what you're talking about. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, and I've liked UM since I was a kid.
Yeah, okay.
You like I said, you're a contrarian. When it comes to your sports opinions, you're a contrarian.
I don't know how that makes sense, but okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're what team are you watching right now?
The Jets.
Okay,
They right now they're losing.
And who are their biggest rival?
The Bills, New England, and Miami.
No. Miami.
Yeah.
Miami. You can mention New England, whatever, but Miami. So there is a trend going on here when it comes to you. But I've already called you on it before. I don't need to call you out on it again.
But you, I hope you realize, having I was, especially in my childhood, I was mainly raised in Orlando, so there was really no team for me to pick at the time anyway. Just so you know.
I feel that sounds like excuses because you're not an Orlando Magic fan.
Well, when I was living with when I was in Orlando at the time, was I even watching basketball back then? I can't even remember if I was watching basketball back then.
I mean, or you should be if you're such a huge Magic Michael Jordan fan, you should have been watching.
Yeah, but I don't think they were like my. I don't think they were my. I'm trying to remember exactly when I was watching, like watching it like religiously.
You know when I was watching the Miami Heat?
I'm trying to remember.
You know when I was watching the Miami Heat?
No, but when you say watch Miami Heat, you were like consistently invested in the game.
Of course.
I'm talking about investing in the game like how we used to be when we were watching wrestling.
Of course. Dude, I'm a massive Miami Heat fan.
All right, how old were you?
I was like 5.
Okay, 5. Okay.
Yeah. Because I have sports integrity.
Okay.
Unlike some people out here. I ain't gonna name no names, but I have sports integrity.
Yeah, whatever that means. Okay.
That means I support my hometown teams.
That's fine.
I just don't pick rivals of teams that I live in. Just for the chuckles.
That's fine.
Anyways, I want to address it. David said I think the Canes would be better off with the freshman that played against Clemson. I think, to be honest with you, I agree with you because Cause what's that dude's name? Van Dyke. That dude stinks. That dude stinks. Like straight up. Like, and I don't care if he's a fucking college kid. He stinks. Like, even like it's one thing if you can't get deep passes to go down is whatever. Deep passes are hard, but
Mm-hmm.
even the short passes, I worry about with this guy. This dude can't complete a 2-yard out. He can't complete screen passes. Like I don't know if he's hurt or not. But if he's hurting the team, get him the fuck off the team.
Wow.
Not off the team, but you need to start somebody else. You need to start somebody else. We have nothing. We have nothing to lose. Nobody thinks that we're gonna beat FSU. And again, if Van Dyke starts and he struggles, get him off the field. Get him off. Get him off the field. So I agree with David 100% there. And you also remember the FSU Miami game. Oh my god, yeah, those games were amazing. You remember the game, like and Steve was there. We were in the ale house. We were there to watch UFC, but obviously FSU and Miami was playing. They were playing down here, right? It was a complete defensive struggle, right? Miami scored a touchdown with seconds left to go. All they needed to do was kick the extra point, and the game is tied, and we were going into overtime. And you remember how I reacted when they scored a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how to play. And remember, obviously, it was a lot of FSU fans. There were a lot of Hurricanes fans there that day. And remember how I was reacting. You know how everyone else was reacting. We were jumping up and down. It was madness. And then the extra point kick gets blocked, and everyone I forgot what your reaction was. Obviously, you were happy, but I forgot what your reaction was. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I jumped up in the air, and then it was me and just only a couple other guys that were cheering, and then I was giving them high fives, and then I went back, to my seat, just laughing at you, and it was good. I think Mr. B was with us too, and I'm just laughing at everybody at the table.
And I was just stunned. I had no I had no idea what just happened.
Yeah.
Here I am. I'm getting ready for overtime. And I think that was the year where you guys were better than us that year also. But yeah, so yeah, those games. Oh yeah, those games. I remember like back in the old school days, with wide right and right left, and it was just crazy. It was just great stuff, man. But I don't think this game is going to be competitive. I think FSU is too good this year. And then
yeah. Being number 4, I mean, I personally think we were better than Michigan, but I said to myself,
you better be careful with your signs.
With my what?
With the FSU, you better be careful with the signs because Michigan, they're stealing signs. Someone on the staff was stealing signs. I don't know if you heard that story.
That's funny. That's
funny. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, go ahead.
Gosh. Yeah, I do believe that because let me see. I'm trying to remember on top of my head who's top 4. We're number 4. I think Ohio State, Georgia is number 1, and is Michigan number 2 or 3?
I think last time I checked there were 3, and I think Ohio State should be on there also.
Yeah. I mentioned Ohio.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I can't. I know we're number 4. Georgia's number 2. I can't remember who's 2 and 3.
Michigan is either Michigan or Ohio State, and then Georgia's number 1. So that's your top 4.
Yeah. I can't remember. I have to go back and look and do proper research on that. But yeah, I'm actually happy that we're top 4, and I know for a fact that we are going to obliterate UM. Oh my goodness, absolutely, we are going to obliterate them. And as for you though, for you to say that you want to get rid of your your quarterback, do it. I mean, look at this point, just stick who you have. Like who else are you going to use?
that's the problem. Because realistically, no one else, no other quarterback, even the guy that David mentioned, I think his name is Emery Williams. I think he's not ready either. But here's the thing: he's better than Van Dyke. Because I'm telling you, if he throws deep, he's gonna throw an interception, and he can't complete a short pass. He can't. And if you're going to be that inept, then I don't want you on the field. I don't want you on the field. So we have the quarterback issue. We're struggling to run the ball, and it's like what can we do? Our defense is more than good enough to hang with FSU. The problem is that our offense right now is no good, and the biggest reason why is our quarterback. So why should I? No, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're FSU, don't lose. Because if you guys lose, we're starting the podcast with me clowning you guys.
Okay.
Don't lose.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lose. So, I mean, you have anything else to say about FSU? Because the Dolphins lost yesterday.
Yeah,
and
let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
But here's the thing. I obviously I got off of work, right? I took my mom to work. I drove back, playing some games or whatever, and the Dolphin game starts. And I'm not surprised they gave up a touchdown immediately. The Kansas City is very good, right? We hold them. They scored another touchdown, right? So a little bit nervous, but if we can get our offense in order and we can score, at least we can make the game close. And then the fumble happened.
Are you talking about with Tyreek?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
So now we're down 21-0. I'm sad. I'm not even upset. I'm just sad. So it goes to halftime. I lay down because, like I said, I've been up since last night. Because, like I said, I work overnight, and I completely missed the second half.
You what?
I missed the second half. Fell asleep.
You fell asleep. Okay. You fell asleep early in the morning.
Yeah, it was the only time that the time that I went to sleep was the only time the Dolphins did anything. So they scored the 2 touchdowns, and they had a chance to win the game. So if it wasn't for here's the thing. I know what you're gonna say.
Okay.
I know they're frauds. They can't be good teams. Yada yada yada. All that crap, right?
Okay.
And whatever it is what it is. But the facts is that if it wasn't for the stupid fumble, we were in that game. We were 100% in that game. Our defense showed up, by and large. So, but we also have to, and I think I mentioned this last week. Kansas City defense is excellent. They have a great defense also. And at the end of the day, if you ask any Dolphin fan if you're happy that the Dolphins coming into the bye would be 6-3 and on top of the AFC East, you would take it. It sucks how it happened because, like I said, I don't like the idea of people calling another team who only loses to good teams frauds. Make sense. Narrative being driven around there, but it is what it is. But right now, I'm fine where they're at. They're 6-3. They're on top of the NFC East. Because Buffalo. If you want to talk about frauds, the real frauds are the Buffalo Bills.
No. Let's stick with Miami real quick. Real quick.
All right, go ahead.
There was something that you had said. I'm gonna say maybe like 3 weeks ago, three podcasts ago, that you had said that there was one thing that you were so worried about the Dolphins, and you said how they constantly been having trouble hiking the ball.
No, you know what? You're right, but that's not on the center. That's on Tua.
That's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
Regardless if it's Tua or the center,
Mhm.
you guys have been having a problem with this all season long.
Yeah.
One of the basic fundamentals in football, you guys seems to constantly having problems with in every game that you're in.
Yeah.
And it happened on the you get that was on the fourth down play. Out of all the times that you guys had to you decide to mishandle the snap, it happened on fourth down. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just like, oh man, if there's ever a time to bring this, like this is the perfect opportunity to bring it up. And I also want to say this. This is called the Overrated Podcast after all.
Mm-hmm.
And for the fact that you guys have unable to beat any elite team in the NFL thus far. Now look, you still have a time to redeem yourself, but the last four you won't be facing any elite teams. I think until the last 4 weeks. I think if I remember the schedule correctly. So with all that being said, as of right now, to me, the Miami Dolphins is an overrated team. They are overrated. And I am proud to say overrated because you see, don't worry about we were able to beat the Bills without our quarterback. Mind you, do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? We were able to beat our team. We were able to beat the Buffalo Bills without Aaron Rodgers. So don't say anything about what what team we beaten. We've beaten good teams. Okay, it's you guys that have been unable to beat a legitimate a Super Bowl contending team. That's on you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's on you guys. And I
So
and I'm going to say this. It will be a shame. I mean, look, you guys better at the no, you know what? No. I take it back. You guys are going to make it to the playoffs. You will. You're going to make it to the playoffs. But at the end of the day, this proves that Miami is an overrated team because you can't beat the good ones. That's why. So we could
no,
move
no, no,
on.
no, no, no. I'm going to address this. I'm going to address this.
There's
Now,
nothing. There's
no, I'm going to address this. I'm going to.
the reason why there's nothing for you to address is because don't worry about us because not only did we beat the Bills, we all let me also remind you we also beat the Eagles. We
Okay.
also beat the Eagles, who
Okay.
beat you guys. So
Okay.
so every good team that you guys was unable to beat, the Jets have been able to beat. Just so you
Okay.
know.
Okay. Did you guys beat New England?
Just so you know.
Did you beat New England? I wasn't even gonna bring up the Jets. I don't give a shit about the Jets. Well, I wasn't gonna bring them up. But did you guys beat New England?
No.
Okay, they're the worst team in the division, and you guys didn't beat them. Who else did you guys lose to?
I think we lost to. Didn't we lose to? Was it the Dallas Cowboys?
They did. They smoked you guys, didn't they?
Yeah,
They're a good team. But who else did you guys lose to?
we lost against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs beat you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Now here's the thing. I look at a team. How is it? Do you think Buffalo's overrated?
No,
Why not?
because I think Cincinnati got better. I think Cincinnati actually got there because I honestly think that Burrow probably wasn't healthy in the beginning of the season.
How is it that a team like Buffalo can not be overrated? The Dolphins are overrated, and Zach Wilson just fumbled the ball. By the way,
I thought you were watching the Heat game.
but is in halftime. How is it that a team
Like I said, I already said that we were going to lose. I already said that the Jets was going to lose. So,
but here's the thing. So Buffalo can lose to New England. I think they also lost to New England. They lost to Cincinnati. There's nothing wrong losing to good teams. So I'm gonna bring that up in a second. They lost to you guys. They lost to New England, and they lost to another team. Who did they lose to? I don't remember who else they lost to. So here's the thing. While it is frustrating to lose to good teams, how is it that every other team can lose to bad teams and that's okay? But if you lose to a good team, you're all of a sudden overrated. How does that make any sense?
because the Dolphins has lost to all the good teams. That's the difference. You lost to all of them.
Okay,
If
and
you're going to say that you are an elite team, which I understand you have an elite offense, so yeah, of course people are going to say that. Of course, Miami Dolphin fans are going to say we are an elite team because you have such a freaking juggernaut and you're a juggernaut type of offense. However, if you are not able to utilize that against other great teams, then so what does that make you? That means that you're overrated. I mean, you're overhyped. You're
again,
overhyped.
again, every team loses to a bad team, except for Miami. We haven't lost to a bad team, but somehow it's okay to lose to a bad team and not a good team. How does again doesn't make sense to me. How is it that you can lose to a bad team and that's okay, but if you lose to a good team, you're overrated.
Again, you're constantly losing to good teams, and most of the good and most of the good teams that you have lost to, the matches hasn't been close. The ones when you lost against Buffalo, I think it was like what 48 to
No,
to
that
20 or
game
something.
was not competitive. That game was not competitive. The other two
Okay,
games,
and
the other two
what
games,
about what about when the Eagles kept on playing rugby against you guys?
I, look, that game was closer than the score indicated.
Oh, come on, man.
It was, and the Chiefs game was a one score game. But the thing is that if you look at the schedule and you say, "Oh, Miami's gonna lose this game," normally you're going to pick teams that are good that has a chance to beat them. So if you lose to other good teams, yeah, it's tough to lose to another good team. But how does that make you overrated when you have every team that I see in the league loses to bad teams, with the exception of the Eagles, which because they're the best team in the league. But how is it that every other team can lose to a bad team and yet they're still fine? But yet the Dolphins lose to three good teams and yet we're overrated.
Yeah, yeah, because clearly you guys are incapable of winning the big game.
I mean, the only game that matters is the end is the playoff game, right? As long as you get to the playoffs, that's all that matters.
Okay, but what also matters is that by us looking at the whole entire season as a collective, it goes to show that Miami is not a top tier team in the league.
I mean, they may not be better than Philadelphia or Kansas City, but we're what
Go
so
Baltimore.
I don't. You think they're better? You think they're better than? Do you think Baltimore better than us? Because ironically enough, we beat Baltimore last year.
That's last year.
Yeah, it is last year.
And
It's got
clearly
the same
Buffalo
quarterback.
and at least for right now, Buffalo is better than you guys.
No, they're not. The record don't say that.
No, but they beat you guys.
The record don't say that.
They beat you guys easy.
The record don't say that. Because if that was the case, wouldn't New England be better than you guys? And we all know that's not true.
Well, clearly, I think we've just been outcoached. I think that's what it was. Unfortunately.
But you said that they beat you, that's why therefore they're better. New England beat you guys, but they're not better than you guys.
Well, I think they beat us twice.
All right, but they're not better than you guys. They're not. They're not better. That team stinks. But yet they beat you guys, and yet you're not better than them. Trust me, I have no reason to big up the New York Jets. That garbage irrelevant franchise. I have no reason to prop them up. but they are better than New England. If they lose to the Chargers, who we beat by the way, if you guys let them beat you,
you barely beat them, barely.
Yeah, we really did. Like, barely don't mean nothing. We won. We beat them.
That's fine.
But like, to me, I just don't understand the idea that you can only lose to good teams and yet you're overrated. I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
Oh boy.
Like I said, it is what it is at the end of the day. Like it is what it is. So like, like I said, we're 6-3. We're on a bye, and I'm fine. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
We'll have, like I said, UM's gonna get their ass kicked. I'm fine. I can deal with it. We'll the Dolphin will be fine. They'll be just fine.
Okay. Now, did you watch the Dallas and Eagles game?
Yeah.
Okay. After seeing that game.
Wait, before you do, let me ask you. Multi has a question. Do you go for any teams from Miami? The answer is no.
Wait, hold on. Let me see his question. What is his question?
Do you go for any teams from Miami?
Oh yeah, the Miami Heat.
No.
Yeah.
Not when you were younger.
Miami Heat. Yeah.
Not when you were younger.
Yeah, Miami.
Not when you were younger.
That's fine, but yeah, Miami for sure.
No.
Again.
Talk to the people. Talk to the people.
I already explained this just a few moments ago. In my childhood, I was raised in Orlando. I didn't. Who am I? Supposed to pick in football and on basketball? Like who was I supposed to pick?
Oh, you grew up around the time of Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, but I didn't. So there's a reason why I didn't like Miami. Back then when I was a kid, I was raised in Orlando.
But
how could you blame me for that? How could you blame me for that?
You were a fan of who? You weren't a fan. You were barely a fan of this team. Yeah, LA scored again.
Yeah, no, we're not going to win this game.
You were a fan of Reggie Miller
mm-hmm.
in the Indiana Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't a fan of Miami. So the answer to the question for Miguel, aka Malta, since you like the answer for me, I'm gonna answer for you. The answer, my guy, is no. No.
Right now, I do like Miami. I do. But Miami Heat is really the only Miami team that I care about. Every other Miami team I don't care about.
When LeBron got here, I would say yes. You were the only team that you didn't outwardly hate on in Miami with the Heat. That's consistent.
Well, no. I started liking Miami when Jermaine O'Neal went to the team.
That overrated bum. Anyways, Ruben, what's going on, bro? You heard that, traditionalist? Integrity. Yes, integrity.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so let me hold on a second. Bills through Patriots all your life, no integrity. No integrity.
Bills through Patriots, traditionalist. I'm not really sure what that means. Oh, all your life, no integrity.
Mm-hmm. No sports integrity. And
no. I mean, no. I mean, like I said, when I was in Orlando, there was no football team for me to pick. Now, people might say, well, you could have, picked Tampa Bay, but I couldn't watch Tampa Bay games there. You had to be, and which I honestly, and I really want to say this, real quick. I honestly think, that is very stupid. Like, if you know that you don't have a team in a particular area, I mean, like, for goodness sakes, I mean, what Tampa Bay is like what, just an hour away from Orlando, and yet we can't even watch Tampa Bay games. Like, I think that's freaking BS. I think, but whatever.
Yes, I remember that. I'm just hoping it could be competitive because on Miami FSU. I agree with you, David. I agree with you. I do hope it's competitive, but with this team, I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you there. Oh, okay. Jaguars beat the Bills in Wembley, and the thing is that Jacksonville, they're now 6-2.
Yeah,
So
they're good.
yeah, so you have to consider them a good team.
Yeah.
Even though I think they're a bit overrated, but they did beat the Bills, so they aren't the best of the best. They're playoff bound. I think he's talking about the Dolphins. So yeah, and look, it's fine. It's fine. They're not. You have to be. You do have to beat the best from time to time in order to consider to be part of that elite. I have to concede that. But I just find it weird that we're now calling them frauds because they lost to the good teams.
Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far calling them frauds. I just call them overrated.
Okay. And honestly, I guess I can't argue that point. I can't argue that point. I can't. You know what I mean? But well, like I said, the team that they're supposed to beat, they beat them. They beat them. Um, and Ruben said you can watch Tampa games on Old Town now. Nah, who cares? It's all about Miami. And Rosemary's in the chat. How you doing, girl? How you doing?
Well, I mean, yeah, that may be true. Yeah, it's all about Miami, but if you're in Orlando, you don't. Who are you going to choose
Pick
between the
Miami.
three teams?
Pick Miami.
If people who live in Orlando, they should automatically pick Miami.
Yeah,
How does that make any sense?
you don't have to make sense.
Now it doesn't have to make sense.
Nope.
If you were like right at the center in Central Florida, I think it would actually make more sense to pick Tampa Bay.
I mean, you didn't pick Tampa Bay.
No,
I mean, look, Multa. I'm not going to deny that. But when he was in Miami, he was awful. When he was in Miami, he was garbage. Yeah, Indiana, he was great.
he
In
was
Miami,
older.
yeah, older and garbage. Yeah,
He was old.
old and garbage.
He was much older. But all I want to say is like, do you think the Dallas Cowboys are frauds after that loss against
No,
Philadelphia?
no, no. They were in that game, and they
Okay.
were inches away from beating them. So no, no, no.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Yeah,
and
and it's very surprising to even see them, because they actually achieved more first downs than the Eagles did, and yet
let
the
me ask
Eagles actually still
let
won.
me ask you a question. Why are we talking about the Cowboys?
Why?
Yeah,
I mean, why? Because that was like because look, haven't you noticed that the teams that we usually talk about every time when we start this podcast, it's always been your team, the Dolphins, my team, the Jets, and the Green Bay, even though they're, I think they should tank at this point. But yeah, the Green Bay Packers. We talk about the Chiefs. We we always talk about Kansas City, not Kansas, yeah, Kansas City, but we always talk about the 49ers, how I think you should still apologize to Brock. And we talk about Philadelphia and the Dallas Cowboys. Why? Because majority of those teams, with the exception of ours, are great teams. So we're obviously going to talk about the elite teams, and unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys, they're a decent team.
they're not, but
So
they're not elite. They're not elite. And you're the only one that talks about them. I don't give a shit about the Cowboys. The only reason why I watched that game yesterday is because I knew the game was going to be good because they have a.
yeah,
But those are
okay,
the top.
the Dallas Cowboys are in these dogfights and it entertains you. So clearly, you care about them
No,
to
I
some
don't.
degree.
No. Just because I watch something doesn't mean I care about it, Steve. But I don't. But
Okay.
you always bring them up, and I'm like, bro, I don't give a shit about them. Like I said, the only reason why that game was interesting because it's a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game, so obviously it was going to be. You knew the game was going to be good,
Yeah,
which it
the game
was.
was very close.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't want you bringing up the Cowboys every single week. I don't give a shit about them. I mean, we're not first take. We're not undisputed. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Hey, whoa,
That's
whoa,
fine.
whoa.
But yeah, last but not least, I'm glad that the Packers won. But yet, they're 3-5. I don't really necessarily care. I honestly think that they should tank at this point. But but and as far as their quarterback goes, Jordan, I think Roy is absolutely right about that guy. I think he's just an average quarterback. He's more of like a system quarterback. He's not a quarterback that you could simply rely on during crunch time. And I think
Well, he is technically he is. I mean, honestly, he's kind of like a rookie. I know he's been in the league a minute, but he is his first year starting, so I would just give him a chance.
hmm,
Yeah, give him a chance to get his feet wet, get better.
yeah,
Uh,
I guess,
Anthony
but
Davis is going to the locker room.
who is?
Anthony Davis.
Ha. Well, okay, okay, okay. All right. Well, there's really no other NFL team that I'm really interested in talking about anymore. Unless you have somebody, go ahead.
No, no, no.
Okay, so we'll move on, to the next topic. And speaking of that, you mentioned that you don't really care about the Dallas Cowboys. At the end of the day, having know the Dallas Cowboys is still Americans team, and
Oh,
and and
oh, no, 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 no. I no, 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 no. Look, Steve. I'm not in the mood to argue. I'm not in the mood to argue.
you know that's a fact, right?
No, no. Whose fact is that?
Like every pretty much everybody says it, and pretty much with the ratings, they say that that's why they're always almost in every single Sunday night football games. And I think they're playing again next week.
Of course, yeah, they are. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Isn't
they're
that an
not.
indication that they're Americans team?
No, they're not my. No, no. They're because people talk about you on TV doesn't make you America's team. It's a
It means
it's a bullshit narrative started by Jerry Jones. That's it.
uh, um but it also means they're the most relevant than any other team in NFL.
No, the fuck they're not.
Well, then why is that the case? Why are they always constantly being talked about?
Because people talk about them for no reason.
Okay.
Because people talk about them for no reason.
Hmm.
Because it does draw ratings, but I refuse to call them
Okay.
America's team. I'm not calling them America's team.
All right. All right.
I
Okay. Can we move? All right. You don't clearly you have the same hatred with them like you do with the Knicks. All right. So that's fine. That's fine. That's
no
fine.
no 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 no. No, I don't, because I hate the Knicks with a passion. I hate the Knicks with a passion. The Dallas Cowboys to me are the most overrated franchise. The most overrated franchise because for the lack of winning they've done for the last 30-35 years, people talk about them like they're the Chiefs when they're not. People talk about them like they're the Chiefs and they're not.
Okay.
They've been us for the last 35 years. But yet people just talk about, even when they were bad, people talk about them. And I'm just over it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. I know you want to talk about we do have a topic in place, but I know you want to talk about something else before. So I'll give you the room.
Yeah. This is going to be really quick because I mentioned this in the Discord, and I don't think anyone had any opinion on it. So I'm just going to make this really quick because I think I actually think that a lot of people probably don't really care at this point. Not because they don't care about Chris Evans or Robert or Scarlett. I think for the simple fact that people are just getting sick and tired of Disney, and I think now it's pretty much too late to like. There's no recovery. So here it says Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans have reportedly agreed to return to the Avengers. I'm just going to make this real quick. So we've been talking about Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, and Chris Evans, Captain America, returning to the future Avengers movies, even before the multiverse saga had multiverse in the name. We knew we were heading towards Avengers Secret Wars even before Marvel confirmed Avengers 5 and Avengers 6 title. As a reminder, before Scarlet's Secret Wars, we'll see the Avengers battle King in Avengers the King Destiny Dynasty. Both actors have repeatedly denied returning to the MCU, giving what their beloved characters went through in Endgame. Iron Man died at the end of the movie. Steve Rogers retired to a different reality. Both actors kept a never say never attitude. And I'll just read this last one and then we'll stop. Um, if leaker news scoop are accurate, both Iron Man and Steve Rogers will indeed return to the MCU. Apparently, both actors have already reached agreement with Marvel. Mind you, some spoilers will follow below. Okay, so because some spoilers will follow below, I'll just stop here. But as you can see, the original group now in phase one, obviously, with most of the movies, in my opinion, have been good, with the exception of I didn't really care about Captain Marvel too much, but most of the movies, from Avengers have been great, and these actors did a phenomenal job as playing, their roles. But like the article I had mentioned, Iron Man had died, Steve Rogers retired, Scarlet, she died. I don't know how they're going to bring her back. So I'm very, very interested to see what the script is going to be of how these guys are going to return. So you said you had one thing, and then we could quickly move on. But you said you had one thing to say about this. I'm going to assume you don't care, but what's your thoughts?
No, I don't really care. And the thing is that this is what you guys wanted, so you guys should be happy. You don't want these characters to be replaced. You didn't want them to be recast. So you guys should be happy about this.
Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't give a shit about it, but because like I said, I saw Iron Man die, so I'm not. Again, the stuff that they've done before, like the stuff that they've done since Endgame, has been very uninteresting to me. But
why have they been interesting to you?
I don't know, man. Like it just don't. I guess I just got. I guess I just don't find it interesting anymore. Like it was a phase, because like I said before, I like I'm not a big comic book guy, right? But I do know about some of these characters. I do know about some of them, right? But I wasn't a huge comic book guy. So I watched the first Avenger movie. Well, I watched the first Captain America movie, right? And while there are parts in it that are boring, I do think it's a good movie. And the way that they did it with the continuity between the movies and stuff like that was interesting to me. Was very interesting to me. Like the way that they had the Thor movie. They made movies for all these heroes so that when they came together as the Avengers, it was a big deal. And it was something that really wasn't done before. Like, the way that DC completely fumbled with what how they try to do their thing. Right? Marvel for a time, did it correctly. Right? You establish all the heroes in different movies, you bring them together, and then boom, there you go. Right? I found that to be interesting. Once that goes away, then it becomes less and less interesting. Like I said, like my favorite Marvel movie is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Which one?
The first one.
Okay.
I only watched parts of the second one, and I haven't seen the third one. Because that universe, I don't really care about the universe anymore. Same thing for Ant-Man. I love the first Ant-Man movie. I love the first one. Didn't see the second one. Didn't see the third one.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And Thor 1 was good. I didn't like Thor 2. Ragnarok is good. I like Ragnarok. But I didn't see Love and Thunder. And I heard that one's not good. So like at some point I just kind of fell off of it. And the new heroes that they have don't interest me. All the other stuff don't interest me.
Now, the reason why I asked you that question is because most of the stuff that you have just said is pretty much the same reason why a lot of people are not willing to even, pretty much have a nonchalant type of attitude when it comes to bringing everybody back. They just completely just losing interest in the MCU. When you give us characters that we don't care about, when you constantly, shoving um how and even myself have said, with all this wokeness stuff, when you're constantly doing that and you're shoving it into our faces, even when you're trying to revert back to where you used to be, we already had the disgusting taste in our mouth, so we just don't want to try you again. And I honestly believe that Disney lost they already had three strikes already, and nobody wants to give them a chance anymore. And I honestly believe that even if this turns out to be legit and they come back, I think part of it is superhero fatigue. Not that everybody is sick and tired of superheroes. It's just the fact that they had reached such a high peak with the first phase that everything has just been average afterwards. And then so when you're constantly giving out more superhero movies, more superhero movies, more superhero movies, more superhero movies, and they're all just been average, yeah, people, it's a lot easier to have this superhero fatigue, type of mentality, and so you don't want to give superheroes a chance anymore.
No, I
Even
think no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, no, you go ahead.
No, I think the superhero fatigue thing. I think that's more of a factor than you lead on, because especially during the pandemic, didn't it seem like there was always like a new superhero movie or show or something?
Yeah, that'll come out every month. Yeah,
Yeah, because off the top of my head, right? And this is just from the Marvel side. You have Shang-Chi, which I heard was good. I heard that was good. You had that. You had Moon Knight. You have the Carmela. I forgot her name. Carmela Khan. Miss Marvel. You have that. You have Loki. You have what else is there?
and I know
Um,
there was
uh,
Captain America and
yeah,
Winter
yeah,
Soldier.
Soldier. You have that, and it's like it's just a lot. And if those shows if those shows aren't good, and I heard some of them aren't good, then it just leads to more superhero fatigue. And I haven't even mentioned the DC stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still trying with Aquaman 2. That's gonna be coming out soon. Like Black Adam didn't do well. Shazam 2 didn't do well. FYI, I didn't see none of those movies either. Like I saw the first Shazam, I liked it, but I didn't see two because I'm kind of over the whole Superman superhero stuff because at the end of the day you kind of know how the movie's gonna be.
Well, I personally think that if the movies had stayed remaining at that peak, or if they were just kept on going into a trajectory, I don't think people would have superhero fatigue because all the movies were good. I think superhero fatigue really became prevalent once the movies were bad. It was easier, for you to just dismiss every movie if all you're giving us is woke stuff, or even if it wasn't woke stuff, if you're just giving us average movies, people are not going to care anymore. Like the CGI, in some of these movies,
Oh
were
yeah,
awful.
I agree with that. The CGI in some of these movies especially the shows, have taken a severe downgrade because you have She-Hulk, which as a premise I don't hate the premise of She-Hulk. The problem is that the CGI in that movie is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
We're talking like fucking almost middle school grade shit. Bad.
Hmm.
And that definitely will turn people off. That would definitely turn people off. So I mean, yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say. I mean, we can
Yeah,
pretty
like yeah, we could move on from that. Like I, if they truly bring everyone back, I am going to give it. I'm going to give it a shot because I think each and every one of those guys did a just done phenomenal work. They did a phenomenal job. So I want to give them a chance. I just hope that whatever how they're going to bring them back, like it has to be good. The CG has to be good. The script has to be good. Everything has to, at the very least, match that peak before, while in the original phase. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever the original phase was, they need to try to match that at the very least. I'm not saying it needs to be. I'm not saying it needs to surpass it. At the very least, match it. And I think it will be easier for you to draw everybody back in for all the people that you have for all the people that you have lost. So am I excited about it? I mean, it's like, okay, whatever, I'll check it out. And if you can win me over, and as long as that everything is good, and as long as you're not giving me, if there's no virtual signaling and no woke stuff, then I'm all before it. But if other than that, I won't be interested. We have some comments on here.
yeah. Let me read some comments, then we can move on. Um, I know Multa asked me if I hate all New York teams. I hate most New York teams. The only New York teams that I don't hate are I don't really hate the Yankees all that much. And I don't hate the Giants. But all other New York teams can kiss my ass.
Why don't you hate the Giants?
Cause they're not and when I was younger, I was a Giants fan. When I was younger, and then I grew
and
up.
and and you're talking about consistency, and
No,
you're
no, no,
talking
no,
about,
no,
yeah, you
no,
talking
no, no,
about
no,
consistency and
no, no.
integrity,
Here's the
and
thing.
being a contrarian. Look at you.
My teacher in second grade was a Giants fan, and I was a big fan of her. So, I was like, all right, I'll be a Giants fan too. And then you know what happened? I grew up.
No. When you say grew up, how old are we talking?
Probably like 7.
Okay,
But I didn't hate the Dolphins. I just cheered for the Giants because my teacher was a Giants fan.
okay.
But then I grew up, and then I'm now a full fledged Dolphin fan. No second team, none of that crap. Unlike some
Okay.
people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Malta's not a fan of the nerd shit. So you gotta talk to Steve about that one. Oh,
Yeah,
and let me.
as far something, Malta. I want to ask you something, Malta. Are you going to sit here and tell me that you haven't watched not one superhero movie? So you haven't watched not a single Iron Man, a single Avengers movie. You didn't watch not one Hulk movie, not one Superman movie, not one Batman movie, not one Spider-Man movie, or X-Men. You haven't watched any of those movies throughout your whole entire life? I can't wait for you to answer that question, and answer honestly, please.
And no, I didn't mean to skip this, but no one's right about this. People talk about the Cowboys to cling on to what was like when like they're like the great American team, Yankees, Red Sox caliber, and I agree with that. Older franchises they build fan bases over generations. So you have like obviously you have the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Dolphins are like this down here because they were the first sports franchise down here, at least legitimate one. And you have all and Yankees and Red Sox are like that too. So they build fan bases over time. To me,
Makers too.
yeah, definitely Lakers, Celtics, yeah, those two. But what annoys me about the Cowboys' attention is how much attention they get in the media, especially when they were not good. When they were bad, they always get headlines, and I'm like, bro, like they suck. Stop talking about them. Let me see. Okay, so
While you look, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for Malta to answer the question.
all right, so
I think he's afraid to answer the question because he knows that he has been guilty of watching some of it. But go ahead.
all right, so Nolan said that they haven't really gotten full into Captain Falcon mode yet. stick to the original script. Like I said, I haven't seen none of the episodes, so I don't, I don't really care. This is for nerds and little kids. Nolan said,
Okay. Are you telling me that watching superhero movies is for nerds, reading their comic books is for nerds, watching the animes, nerds, and playing the video games, superhero video games. You have to put them all under the same umbrella, Malta. But go ahead, have it
he said, Nolan said, stick with their Iron Heart and Iron Daughter looks good too.
Absolutely not. Trash.
Mm-mm.
Garbage. I'm not interested in Ironheart whatsoever.
Right, so,
That's why even when it comes to the comics, they haven't sold well. People don't care about her, and neither do I.
okay. Nolan said Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was cool. Love and Thunder was alright. It just wasn't as bloody as a movie with Gore the God Butcher. Yeah, I heard they completely neutered that character in that movie. Because apparently, Gore is supposed to be very, powerful enemy, and they completely neutered him in the movie, and he wasn't in it for that much.
What are
I'm
you
just
talking
going by
about?
what Gore. Well, I mean, are you familiar with Thor's villains?
I don't really read Thor that much, so no.
Okay. But they had a villain who was supposed to be like by Christian Bale who played Batman in the Dark Knight movie, but he wasn't in it. He was only in it for like 12 on-screen minutes.
Yeah,
You
I didn't watch Love and Thunder. I just wasn't interested in the movie.
okay.
And plus, when I
Nolan said,
heard when I heard it was bad, I that really I just wasn't interested.
all right. So Nolan said Love and Thunder is cool if you keep in mind that it's a Disney movie. Shang-Chi was good. They need to do a Shang-Chi too. A critical drop is in the chat. What's going on, dude? He said that Love and Thunder is crap. Shang-Chi underrated. So he likes Shang-Chi, didn't like the other one.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was okay. Yeah, it was.
Black Adam was pretty alright. I wish the director would have taken the personality from the source material. It looked cool, but Dwayne's performance was flat coming from a momentarily talented actor. Dwayne Johnson is. Well, the problem is that you you casted Johnson in that role, and you can't put a big time Hollywood actor, especially when he's like, on top of his game and has an ego. Let's be real, Dwayne Johnson has an ego, and have him play a character like Black Adam, because now what he's gonna want to do, and I explained this before, he's gonna want to put Black Adam in the upper echelon of superheroes when he simply isn't. First off, he's more of an anti-hero, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mhm.
He should have been the antagonist for Shazam, but according to Dwayne Johnson himself, he said he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
And when you have actors dictating what the source material is supposed to be, then that's not a good sign. That's not a good thing. And I always use this theory, the Van Damme theory, right? When you hire an actor who's bigger than the character and you put him in that role, he's going to compromise the story, and he's going to compromise the source material.
I appreciate that you actually have some sense where it is important to follow the source material, correct? Yes.
Yes. I don't mind if you make alterations, but the problem with, like, for example, like my Van Damme theory, the problem with hiring Van Damme is that he's bigger than the role he's playing. In Street Fighter, we all know that Ryu is the protagonist, the main protagonist. But you cannot have a movie where you hire Jean-Claude Van Damme, and at the time, Jean-Claude Van Damme was the biggest action star in the world, arguably the biggest action star in the world, and biggest star in the world. Period. You can make that case. You cannot hire a guy like Van Damme in order for him to play a supporting role. If you're going to hire Van Damme, he has to play the starring role. And if you're going to put him in a role where he's not the main protagonist, you're going to change the story to make him the protagonist. And that's where you fuck up the source material. Now, again, if they only wanted to make a Guile movie, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. But you put, not only did you not do that, you gotta be careful there. Not only did they not do that, they decided to not only change the protagonist and his best friend from being honorable martial artists to petty thieves, right? You completely fucked up the movie. Because at the end of the day, all you wanted to do was appease your main star. And when it comes to Black Adam, they did the exact same thing. They wanted to appease him. Dwayne Johnson's main goal was to have Black Adam on the same level as Superman when it comes to relevance. And we all know that's not fucking true. I don't read comic books, and I know that's not true. The first time I ever heard of Black Adam was in Injustice.
With the video game?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know the main DC superheroes, and Black Adam ain't one of them. But the problem is that when you hire Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, one of the biggest stars in the world, to play that role, he's going to want that role to mean something. He's going to want that role to be granular. And when you put that role for a C-tier superhero like Black Adam, C-tier, not B-tier. We're talking C-tier here. Average tier. And it's going to compromise everything. And that was the main problem with Black Adam.
And I want to say one last thing, that after everything that you just said, do you see why people like me and other comic book readers and other superhero fans always emphasize the importance of following the source material? Because you just did the exact same thing with Street Fighter. So I never understood why you were always so against us, or saying, oh, we're just complaining, just to complain, when you first-handedly understand how following the source material is important. To have that same connection with the characters that you like, to have the same connection with the story that you follow. And when you don't do that, there's automatically going to be somewhat of a disconnect with the movie or with the game or with the comic. So so help me understand, how come it's okay for you but not for us?
Well, first thing first, I'll still watch Street Fighter. Like, I'll still watch like I said, if Black Adam comes on TV, maybe I'll give it a go. Like, I'm not saying Black Adam's a bad movie, because I've never seen it.
No, but I'm talking about how you said that we're just complaining just to complain, when there's these, whether if it's sex changes or character changes, and we say, oh, you're not following the source material, and you say we're just complaining just to complain. But you see firsthand how it is important when it affected you in Street Fighter.
No. Because the movie overall is not good. Let's be real. Street Fighter is not good. It didn't matter if they followed the source material or not. That movie's not good. No, but with that said, I'll still watch it. And I watched it when I was a kid, even with all the source material misfires. I'll still watch it. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to. But you guys go in and be like, oh, I'm boycotting this, I'm boycotting that. I still watch the movie. I still watched it. Like, I still watched it. And like I said, I don't give a shit about Black Adam, so it doesn't even matter. But let's say if they made a Street Fighter movie today, and it was I'll have to be young. I'll have to be younger. I don't watch none of the. I really don't. I haven't watched any. The only two Street Fighter movies I've ever seen. Well, actually, no. There's three. I don't know if you ever seen the one with Akuma in it.
Yeah, that movie wasn't that good.
I hated that movie. I hated it. I hated the art style. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I hated that movie. But even with the source material there, I didn't like the movie. So ultimately, my opinion is this: the movie has to be good. The movie has to be good. You know, what I mean, that's the most important thing. I'm not going to dismiss a movie because of changes. That's the difference. And I watched the Turtles movie a couple months ago. Like I said, some of the stuff they did I didn't like, but ultimately it is a good movie. It is a good movie. There, like I said, there's some stuff that they changed about the origin that I wasn't feeling, but I did like the movie. I didn't dismiss it. And I guess that's the difference, because you are just gonna outright just be like, F this, I'm not watching. I'm not that way.
Correct.
I'm not that way. I'm not that way. Like I said, the source material is important, but the movie being good is the most important thing. That's the most important thing. So, let me see. Oh, Whitney's in the chat. What's going on, Whitney?
What's up, Whitney? How you doing? Shout out to you, girl. We got a couple girls on here. Awesome.
Also, Hoovie is indebted to the Giants due to the fact that they beat the Pats in the Super Bowl, especially in 08. Yeah, I know. Like, I honestly, when it comes to the Giants beating the Pats, I just wanted to beat them because I don't like the Patriots. It could have been any team. It could have been Minnesota. It could have been not the team with Brett Favre. Absolutely not.
But because you hate Brett Favre, that's why.
No, at that time I hated Brett Favre. At that time, yeah, especially now. But it could have been any team. But that it did feel good to see them beat. It did feel good to see them beat beat the Patriots. I do like that. Let me see. Okay. All right. So Walter said, "Yeah, I've seen my share of superhero movies when I was a little kid."
I think Malta, you've seen at the very least in the past 5 years. I bet you've seen the superhero movie in the past 5 years.
Right. Ruben says, "I mean, don't hate Ironheart on screen. She's better than Ironheart illustrated." In the 80s, we had action movies. The main character was a badass like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Spider-Man, on the other hand, is a dork. They do this so that nerds think that they can be badass. They go by that garbage. Some people that watch a movie where a woman beats up a man and thinks it's realistic.
Well, let me backtrack real quick. Ruben, no, you're wrong. You saying that she's better than Iron Man. I mean, Ironheart. Wait, hold on. I think you're trying to say I don't hate Ironheart on screen, but better than Ironheart illustrated. I think you mean Iron Man. I'm assuming she's not better than Iron Man.
Let me ask you a question. Now, obviously, we all know the ending of Endgame, right? We all know the ending to Endgame. Realistically, we all know Tony Stark dies at the end. Spoiler alert. But if his daughter grows up with the same technology that he has, you would have and becomes. I'm assuming that's supposed to be Ironheart, right? Or is that at least a version of Ironheart?
Well, no, Ironheart is actually black.
Okay, but let's humor me for a little bit. If she grows up to be Ironheart, would you have a problem with that?
Well, yeah, because she's not
Iron Man. She's a different hero, inspired by her father.
Yeah, I mean, I just like if they went and did that, I just wouldn't be interested. I just wouldn't be interested in the movie.
But would you call it like woke or anything like that? Even if you have the story, like even if the story makes sense.
Mm, yeah, I just don't see it, man. I just can't. I think for at least for me, there just wouldn't be like any some sort of connection there, for me.
Yeah, bro, I mean, okay, maybe for you, but it does make sense. And again, like for the comic book guys out there, I'm not saying Tony Stark's daughter is Ironheart. I'm not saying that. I'm just doing a hypothetical. I'm just doing a hypothetical. If it was the case, you still would have a problem with it because that's not Iron Man.
Yeah, pretty much.
Even though like characters do like you just want characters to live on forever, and I just think that that's a bit silly.
No, you look at all the changes that has happened. Look at all the different cast with all the Batman movies.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you see how whether if there's reboots or if you just tell a different story, depending on the villain, you see how Batman is still alive and he's still relevant, and people still want to, and I'm trying to tell you right now, you get rid of Batman, like that's it.
I mean,
Everybody is going to dismiss everyone else.
didn't they do that with Batman Beyond?
Batman Beyond, no, Batman, yeah, Bruce was still there, but
Right, but
Batman Beyond did not get the same, like charisma, like obviously with the original Batman, because
but I know for a fact you like the show.
nowhere near as the original, no,
Right,
not even close,
it don't
not
matter.
no no
Like,
nowhere near as Batman or the Batman. I like
okay,
them both
but
way far better than Batman Beyond.
but
Far better.
but but I know you like the show.
Yeah, the show. Like it was the show was very different. It was obviously futuristic,
Yeah,
and so I was like, oh god. And you know what's funny? I didn't even give the show a chance in the very beginning. I
I I,
remember.
I watched it.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. I watched it. I thought it was great.
I because I think we were probably like, I think I was like in the sixth or seventh grade when the series officially came out. I didn't give that thing a chance because I wanted to give I wanted Bruce Wayne. That's who I wanted. So one day I just sat down. I just watched it and I said, oh, this is not too bad. It's not better, but okay. I could see why some people may like it, but I think most people prefer the original, and I think that's why we haven't had a Batman Beyond since then.
I mean, but if they want to revisit it, I'm all for it. Black Adam is an anti-hero, and he did take on Superman and Captain Marvel and animated. Yeah, that's fine, but he's not. But
Yeah, in the movie, yeah.
But we know Black Adam's not on the same level as Superman. We know as far as popularity, we definitely know that Van Damme is bigger than Johnny Cage. Fun fact. They wanted to use. I think I probably said this before, but they wanted to use Johnny Cage's Van Damme likeness as Johnny Cage because Johnny Cage is inspired by Van Damme.
But their personalities are so different, though.
Uh, yeah, they are, but the inspiration, especially when you look at the first Johnny Cage outfit, is eerily similar to the outfit he wore in the movie Bloodsport.
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Johnny Cage, like, but even in that, even if let's say if they put Van Damme in Mortal Kombat, right? Let's say if he was in the movie, right? Do you think that he would be a co-star to Robin Shou? Now, mind you, Robin Shou is the guy who played Liu Kang.
Okay, yeah.
And we know, listen, Van Damme, he may be a nice man, he may be a nice guy, but that nigga has an ego. And he ain't playing second fiddle to fucking Robin Shou. You know what I'm saying? Even though,
Yeah.
and look, Johnny Cage is very important is a very important part of that, especially in that first movie. He's a very important part of that movie. Like he kills Goro. You know what I mean? But we know that John Claude Van Damme's not playing second fiddle to Robin Shue.
Yeah.
All right, so but since Johnny thinks he's bigger than he is, it might fit age wise. If you adjust for age, you can be future Johnny. If not for the French accent. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, look, it's an action movie. Like we all know that John Claude Van Damme's not known for his acting, so they're like John Claude Van Damme played Guile, who's American, with the accent. You know what I'm saying? So it's like whatever. It is what it is, man. Let me see. Let me try to move this along. But we haven't even done a topic yet, and we're an hour and 20 minutes in. And I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen.
Well, I did keep it short as far as the article. I did.
All right, so let me see.
Oh, Ruben's trying to prove you wrong. I think when he said Kryptonians are weak against kryptonite and magic. And,
no, I'm not talking about which one's stronger than the other. I don't give a flying fuck about that. All I'm saying is that when it comes to popularity, Superman's up here, Black Adam is all the way down there. And when you hire Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he's gonna want Black Adam to come off the basement and go to the mansion where Superman is at. And that is the disconnect. Because we all know, listen, look, Ruben, I know you're a comic book guy and I'm not. But you can't tell me, and Steve, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Superman up here, Black Adam down here.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not talking about power. Like you guys can argue about power. I don't give a shit about that. But when it comes to popularity, relevance, Superman here, Black Adam all the way down there. The same. He mentioned Black Panther. I didn't think either Black Panther movie was woke.
I heard the second one was. The first one, no, but I heard the second one was. But I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it though.
No, I didn't. I haven't watched either one. But I think they should have recasted. They should have recasted Black Panther. They should have recasted him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ruben said that he's gonna send you the Iron Daughter trailer. Yeah, just send it on the Discord, and I'll take a look at it.
And you mentioned the CW shows.
Yeah, Smallville was awesome. Arrow, Flash on CW. Yeah, they're all really good.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, the ego fits, but like I said before, like he's not going to play second fiddle to another star, especially one that's not as relevant as he was at the time.
Critical Drop says another news Blade movie, if it ever comes out, will now be rated R. That's a very big surprise that Disney would take that, would actually do that. And if they do, that makes me more interested in actually watching the movie. Because when I heard that it wasn't going to be rated R the first time, I was going to completely dismiss the movie.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, not stronger relevance. Oh, then yeah, you're right, Hoovy. But at that point, Johnson is gonna pull a Guardians and say she made Adam relevant. Yeah, that's the only reason. That's the reason why. That's the reason why he took the role. That's the reason why he took the role, because he wanted to make that character relevant. All right. So let's actually start the podcast.
Yeah. So speaking of, we talked about the Avengers, and now we are going to be talking about something similar, very, very similar, and that is Spider-Man. And we're going to make this quick because since we're already over an hour in, we're going to try to make this quick. And as you can see here, it says spoilers. So I'm going to be very careful of what I read. So I'm not going to really read much, of the article. So we're just going to get, to the main meat and potatoes on this. So it says that Marvel Spider-Man 2 Marvel Spider-Man 2 devs say Miles Morales is the main Spider-Man from now on. And I was in disbelief when I saw this article. So again, I'm going to be very careful. I read through almost all of it, so I'm just going to just pick bits and pieces of what I'm going to read because I don't want to spoil anything for Ubi. He doesn't want any spoilers, so I'm going to be very careful here. So the developers of hit PlayStation 5 exclusive Marvel Spider-Man 2 have said Miles Morales is the main Spider-Man from now on, which has caused some fans to speculate about what Insomniac may do with the inevitable Spider-Man 3. And let me be careful here. I don't think there were spoilers here, but let me see. Okay, yeah. So they asked Ben Affleck and advanced writer Brittany Morris about the oh snap. Wait. Okay, about the ending of Spider-Man 2. Let me pass that one. Let me see. Okay, yeah, the one about Venom. So in the interview, Gizmodo asks Efferman, I think that's how you say it, and Morris, you said earlier you basically knew right away that you wanted playable Venom. Does that also apply to ending this game with Miles as the main Spider-Man from
Yo,
now on? What? What?
yo.
What? 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 What?
Go ahead,
What
man.
happened? What happened? What I do?
Go ahead. Keep reading.
All right. So it felt very unnatural that I think we all collectively thought it would happen. To me, it shows great deal of evolution for Miles at the beginning of the game. We see him struggling, and we see him struggling to figure out what he wants to do, with his life. Right, let me skip the rest of the stuff. And yeah, Spider-Man fans are speculating being Spider-Man means for future titles. And like so these are people pretty much speculating on what they think is going to happen. So I'm not going to read any more of this stuff because who we reacted for some reason, but I'm not going to read any more of this stuff. Here's what I have to say, because we just talked about something similar when it comes to the movies. I think this is going to be a huge mistake. This is going to be a huge mistake. For all this time since Spider-Man has existed, the person who was officially Spider-Man was Peter Parker. That's it. Now, obviously, over the years, you had other, Spider people like Spider Woman and Gwen Stacy, and you have Venom, and understood. But everybody knew who was the main Spider-Man character was, and his identity, and which was Peter Parker. That's who everybody cares about. And for you to dismiss you're pretty much saying that Peter Parker is now irrelevant, or I don't know if they're going to kill him off. I don't know if they're going to, have him, retire. I don't know if they're going to, make him lose his powers. Like there's all these speculations that are out there of what's going to happen, with Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's not what I want, because I don't care. I don't care about Miles Morales. I don't. I don't have a single comic book pertaining to Miles Morales. I don't really care much about the Spider Verse movie. And as far and as far as the game, yeah, sure, yeah, the game is good. And I was even one of the people that agreed with Hoobie 186, thinking that the game is probably going to win Game of the Year, or at least it has a chance.
I never said that. I say it could be a contender.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That it has a chance. It has a. I mean, a contender has a chance. Yeah, okay, whatever. How you want to phrase it, or how you want to use it. At the end of the day, I do not want Miles Morales to be my main Spider-Man. I don't. I don't. And if this is the direction that they want to take, then I'm just not going to support it. I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to remain in the exact same position as when they tried to constantly, because they were constantly pushing Miles Morales, especially in the comic book industry. They were just constantly pushing him, They were saying, "Oh, what would it look like if he was a villain?" They were saying, "Oh, let's see how he looks like, when he's a symbiote." Like they were just constantly issue after issue, different issues, constantly pushing Miles Morales for us to read, and people were just not interested. Now, when it comes to video games, I think when it comes to video games, now you might, I don't know if you agree with this, having now because I know you don't read comics, but I think when it comes to video games, it's a lot easier to what's the word? I think it's a lot easier to consume um video games than it is when it comes to when it compared to movies or comics and things like that. I think when it comes to games, it's easier for you to get away from the source material, and people will still play it because at the end of the day, you really mainly focus more on the gameplay more so than you are with the story, because with the story, the main focus is the story when it comes to movies and comics. With the video games, yes, the story is important, but people care so much also if the game, is good. Because if the game is bad and the story is good, like who cares? People are going to dismiss the game completely. The
I
game
will
has
say
to be good.
I will say this: the best part about the Spider-Man game right now is the story. Gameplay is
Nah.
phenomenal.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely phenomenal. But the story is the best part of the game for me.
Oh, okay. It's the story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm very intrigued by it. That's why I didn't want you reading about what happened to Miles when it comes to the ending. I didn't want to read. That's why I didn't want you. That's why I didn't want you reading the article in the first place.
Hmm.
But the thing is that when it comes to this, right? I don't like me personally. It depends on how the story goes, and truth be told, like when it comes to like your opinion on Miles or whatever, like you can have your opinions all you want. Facts are that dude's popular, man. That dude's popular. Like you can talk about all these other superstar like I mean superhero like retreads, if you want to call them that, like rip-offs and stuff like that. Miles is extremely popular. That just it's just how it is. So obviously they're gonna want to capitalize on it. And considering how great the story is, I guarantee you that it's going to make sense why he becomes, in theory, the main Spider-Man. It's going to make sense. But to me, I like and I'm gonna play the next Spider-Man game. I don't have no problem with it, regardless of who's gonna be the main protagonist. Like I'm gonna play it. So it doesn't bother me. To me, I just I like to me I just all that matters to me is if the story is good. That's it. That's all I care about.
Okay, that's fine. Uh, if you think the story is good, I mean, yeah, that's fine. But you have to remember, Hoovy, we people have always had the same complaints, including myself. Not just with comic book characters, but even with just games in general. Whether if it's how people did not like the new Dante, from Devil May Cry, how
Mhm.
people, including myself, didn't like Raiden replacing Solid Snake. Well, we didn't like, well, at least for me, didn't enjoy Street Fighter 3 as much as I would like because of the character changes. Like this stuff is not new over the years. Like I don't want to make this just a source material, comic book thing. I also want to include the fact that when you change, characters, from beloved characters that we grew up with, there's what I'm trying to let you know is, even if the games, were good, such as, with Metal Gear and Street Fighter off, with Street Fighter Third Strike, everybody will not deny that those games were good, but yet there was still some level of dissatisfaction just for the simple fact that the character was changed. And I don't there's no doubt in my mind that people are going to have the exact same reaction when it comes to Peter Parker and Miles Morales. Like, is that fair?
Yeah, you see it now. You see it now. Like they always have this tagline: Miles Morales is Miles Morales, Peter Parker is Spider-Man. The problem is that when in it the main message of Spider-Man is that anybody can be Spider-Man. That's from Stan Lee. And you guys worship the ground he walks on up and down, but when it comes to his messages, you guys seem to ignore that.
No, people. Well, that's because that's because people disagree. Just because you created, the material, that doesn't necessarily mean we are going to agree that.
That's his message. That's his message. And to me, like I I think if you don't want to play as Miles Morales, it's fine. I don't care. But
Mhm.
to me, it's a natural progression because he is the new and he's the main protagonist in the Spider-Verse, which is what I think Ruben mentioned here. He's the main protagonist in the Spider-Verse, and he's a popular character. So naturally he is gonna be Spider-Man. Like he's Spider-Man. He is. There's two Spider-Mans in the game. There is. Like it is what it is.
Mhm.
The reason why Peter Parker gets this distinction because he's the most relevant. He is the most relevant.
Yeah,
But there are two Spider-Mans, and Miles Morales is the other one. But he is Spider-Man.
yeah,
This
yeah.
how
He's a
it is.
ripoff of Spider-Man, sure.
I mean, that's not what I said, but okay. If you want to go that route, that's fine. But he's Spider-Man. He is. To me, as long as the game's good, that's all I care about. Okay.
No, no, okay, no, but I mean, I don't know. I don't. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I don't know if you answered the question, but my question for you is: we've seen it over the years with other games. How
Yeah.
even if the game is good.
Okay. Let me mention this because Tekken just revealed their second to last character, right?
Hmm.
They just revealed their second to last character, right? It's a brand new character.
Hmm.
Vincent, I think his name is Vincent um Cavalier. Now, before that, they introduced four returning characters: Devil Jin, Alicia, Zafina, and I mentioned Devil Jin already.
Yeah.
Um, who else? Who else? Damn it! There was one more. Oh crap. Okay, well, it was Devil Jin, Alicia, Zafina, and somebody else I forgot. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I was not happy with that. I was not happy with that because those are all characters that I frankly I didn't use, and with the only and I didn't even give a shit about the Devil Jin thing. I was disappointed in because I thought that the main story was gonna be that Jin shed at least controlled the devil side of Devil Jin, his devil side. Oh, Lee Chao Lan.
Hmm.
I was not happy with them choosing four retreads,
So
but
what you or my bad. Go ahead. I'll ask later. Go ahead.
but the second to last character that they announced, I think they announced this character over the weekend. Vincent Cavalier, brand new character, cool as hell. Got a gun, got a sword, speaks French, fantastic character,
Okay.
kick ass character, new character. And to me, some people are prisoners of the past, right? They're always like, oh, I don't want nothing to change, this and that, whatever. Part of the reason why I love Third Strike is because of the character. We always have this argument, right? I like and yes, do I prefer the characters in new challengers? Yes. But that doesn't make part of what makes Third Strike special is the characters. Because they're different archetypes, different styles of characters to have. No, there's okay, yeah, okay, all right. So yeah. So they're both confirming it. Yeah, they have one more character that they have to announce, and I'm hoping that it's a new character,
Okay.
or at least a returning, or at least a long time returning character. but I do hope it's a new character. Like, but some guys are so prisoner of the moment when it comes to the past that they don't want to embrace the future. And look, it's your prerogative if you want to embrace the future. But to me, if as long as it's good, I'm down for it. As long as it's good, I'm down for it.
Okay, so your argument is that people are just so hung up, with the past. I guess I could understand, that point. But like I said before, when you have a strong, connection, with, a particular character, and then and when there's a sudden change, sometimes that disconnection that you have, with the future games, it just happens by default because you didn't have any connection, with the newer characters. So it's once again, when it comes to Street Fighter, Metal Gear, and with this game, Spider-Man, no one is arguing that that the games are bad. People were not using that as an argument. We're just saying that we don't like the fact that you making all these character changes, and then when you make these changes, people just don't. People just not really that interested in the game anymore because the character who we like isn't there. And I honestly believe that there's going to be not some, but several people that are going to complain that we're not no longer playing as Peter Parker. Because a lot of people love Peter Parker. I'm not saying that we don't have huge Miles Morales fans. I'm pretty sure there are plenty out there. But it's been proven, especially in the comics, they're just a bunch of they just like the idea of a Miles Morales or as a Black Spider-Man. They're really not going to really invest their time, their money, or emotions, in the character like people normally do with Peter Parker. Like that's just not going to happen. And it's been proven that with the comics and the merchandise. It's just not going to happen.
With you, it don't. But if I'm telling you right now, if they do this if they go down that path with Insomniac and as good as they are, and if they make us a Miles Morales game and it hits, because you remember they already have a Miles Morales game already.
Yeah.
They have one already. So if this one hits and they do a great job with it, that trust me, because again, the Spider-Verse movies are not popular for no reason. They're not popular for no reason. They clearly are popular. It clearly is popular.
Yeah. Because no, I'm trust me. And the reason why I'm playing the trailer because one, I like the trailer. I think the trailer is amazing. But I want everyone to before we move on. I want everyone to understand what I was trying to say. In the beginning, I think when it comes to games. Now I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but I think when it comes to games, the reason why I think Insomnia believed that they could get away with this is that they know that video games is a lot. Even if you're right that you enjoy or you think the story is actually better than the gameplay, even if that's the case, I think you could get away with it more into video games than I think you can with comics, novels, and movies. You know what I'm saying? Because at least go ahead.
The only reason why I'll disagree is because we see it. I see it all the time in gaming. Also, like anytime there's a change that's made, anytime there's something that's in the game, people bitch and complain, call it woke, this and that, and all this other shit. Like it's
okay. So you think is exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even if like like look, I have the game. You're
Mm-hmm.
playing as Miles and Peter,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, they're almost identical. There are differences. But you're swinging around. You have the web suit, which is the web what do you call it? The web damn, what do you call it? The wingsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Badass, complete badass, right?
Yeah.
But they are very they are sim they're it is the same. They're the same.
Okay. You think it's exactly the same.
Yeah, and
I, I, I,
people
yeah.
still complain.
Yeah, yeah, people still complain. Like, we gave it. You gave example with Tekken. I gave example with Street Fighter, Metal Gear. Yeah, people do complain, but I think there will be less. There will be less. I think the boycotts and not supporting it at all is more prevalent on comic books and on movies. I think. At
Trust me.
least at least with the games, a lot of people will still buy the game. Comic books and movies, you will have people boycott movies and comics. Not so much in video games, but you disagree with that too.
Yeah, I just think whoever's going to do that for the comic book, they'll do the same thing for the video game. And trust me, I I'm gonna tell you this right now. I don't know if you bought the game or not. I don't know if you plan on buying the game. If I'm you, I would just say don't buy the game.
Oh, well, yeah, the new one that comes out. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think I'll buy it.
No, I'm talking about this one, Spider-Man 2. Don't buy the game.
Oh,
Don't buy it.
okay.
You're better. I don't know if you had the first one. Just play the first one.
Okay.
So just fair warning to you. But yeah. So I mean, we can move on if you want.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll read some comments. The best thing to come out of Sony, Tread. I recommend you to change your mind. Tread,
Oh, he's talking about Spider. Okay.
Where are you coming from? Tom Holland leaves Sony from Uncharted to Spider-Man. At what point does Miles lead the company?
Well, how does Tom Holland? How is what I don't understand the correlation. Like, well, how does Tom Holland relates to it? Like Tom Holland is Spider-Man. Tom Holland is Peter Parker, not Miles.
I prefer
And
Lee. Go ahead.
and as far as you saying, at what point does Miles lead the company? I don't want Miles to lead the company. Because I prefer Peter Parker, and I will always prefer Peter Parker. I don't want Spider. I don't want Miles. I don't want Gwen Stacy. I don't want any of those other people. I want Peter Parker and Peter Parker only.
Okay. Ruben said I prefer Lee over Lay personally, but I love a throwback like Love Bruce and Ganryu. I mean, if it's gonna be one more, because like they have one more character left to announce, and it's gonna be like a big character. If I had to guess, I think it's gonna be a Hachi. I think it's gonna be a Hachi. Whoever the last character is gonna be an integral part of whatever Tekken 8 story they have. Ruben continue. I would say I hope it's Akuma to finish the job, but the job was Hachi's death, and that happened. Did it happen in the game? Because like I said, I played that story mode. I hated that story mode, by the way. Right. I don't remember. No, it was awful. It made no sense. It was unfairly hard. It was garbage.
Making it hard, that's a good thing.
No. When I mean unfairly hard, is unfairly hard. Like, we're not talking like, oh, it's just a hard difficulty. No. We're talking about pretty much you beat them. You beat them. They have unblockables. You beat them. They regenerate health easy. It wasn't worth the story. Wasn't worth the hassle of beating that game.
Okay.
The story wasn't worth it. Huge Miles fans. If you feel as if Miles failed, it's only because comics are failing. The gaming market that's on the rise. Tread Miles is trending. And I actually, like I said, like you guys are like the comic book guys. I'm not. Now I do think he'll perform better as a when it comes to gaming. I do agree with you there, but there are always going to be people who bitch and complain about it. I see it already. They don't like the fact that Miles was even introduced in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever they do, they're gonna do. To me, I just think that if the game is excellent, then that ultimately that will be the only thing that matters at the end of the day.
That's and that's what I mean. because it's easier for you to accept or consume the video games than a comic or a movie, because since the game is good, you could still have a good experience with it, just for the simple fact that the gameplay is good. So I think it's a lot easier. But I see what you're saying too, though. Like I partially agree with you also.
Okay. All right. So next topic. This is you again. This is about Dion.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna try to make this one quick also, because you say you didn't really have much to say about it.
Yeah,
So
I don't really know the story.
okay, so pretty much the whole story about Deion Sanders was that he had a huge. Okay, so first off, it turns out that Deion Sanders had a couple of his things stolen. First
Mm-hmm.
he had a few things stolen. I think it was one was like a boombox or some radio that he had was stolen. I think I can't remember if it was watches or chains or something that he also had stolen. And but then he I think he found most of his stuff. But then later it was discovered that the players, their watches, their chains, everything got stolen in their locker room.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they
Everything
have
got
it in the
stolen.
locker room.
Yeah, like they had their stuff in the locker room, and somebody went in. And it had to be multiple. It had to be more than one person. Like it had to be multiple people that was in there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they haven't found the perpetrators, but they stolen all of the football players chains, watches. I don't remember if they also stolen money, but for sure, like they stole their chains and their watches. And the criticism that Deion Sanders had, some people blame him for that. And the reason why some people blame Deion Sanders is because they said that why in the world are you going to have all these players flashing their chains and their Rolexes, at people, at fans or whatever? Obviously, you making yourself a target instead of trying to be smart about your possessions. And look, over the years, I myself, people have taught me, people who are older than me have said, if you are going to have these expensive Jordans on you, these nice chains on you, these nice watches on you, or whatever, don't start flashing these things in certain areas, predominantly like in hood areas. That's what people would tell me. You should be able to free to do whatever it is that you want, but there are just certain clubs, there are certain alleys that you should not be going to if you're going to have these things on you. And to me, I see where people are coming from, trying to say that, well, Deion Sanders should be partially responsible. But at the end of the day, who would have thought that somebody would go into a football team's locker room and steal all of their possessions? Like that's like the last thing that you would actually think about. But what were you going to say?
Um. Okay. So. All right. So okay. So like I said, this is my first time hearing this story.
Okay.
Right. So pretty much their stuff got stolen in the locker room.
Yes.
All right. That's not like anyone who's blaming Dion for what being flashy.
Yeah.
That
Like showing off, showing off.
to me that's dumb. That's dumb because he didn't get jacked in the middle. Even if he got jacked in the middle of the night, like look, I understand the concept of not being flashy with your stuff or whatever, but that
Mm-hmm.
does not give anybody the right to take your stuff.
Well, they're saying like be smart about it. Like don't encourage
No,
your players to bring this stuff
no.
into the football game.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Like that's your stuff. No one has the right to take your stuff. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how they flaunt it or whatever. It's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell them you can't tell them how they flaunt their stuff. And especially when it happened in the locker room, that's the place where that stuff should be protected.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, that's on the NCAA. Is that on the NCAA? So, as far as I'm concerned, if Dion's asking the NCAA to reimburse them, I think they should, because it happened on your watch. It happened on your watch. Because that's your stadium. That's your environment, and your job as the NCAA is since I mean, for fuck's sake, you've had free labor, you've been profiting off of these kids for years, and the only thing that they really should get in return is to not have their stuff stolen. So to me, to me, I'm on Deion's side on this. I'm sorry, I am. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna get reimbursed, but this is not. I don't like the idea of blaming this person for being flashy. I don't like that at all. Okay, it excuses an actual crime, which is robbery, which is not robbery but stealing.
Okay, so let me play this audio real quick.
Yeah,
I think there's like one paragraph I want to read, and then we can move on. You can hear it.
Stole every darn thing I had in the locker room. In the coach's office.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Credit cards, wallet, watches. Thank God I had on my necklaces. Ow! So when I talk about quality, raising standards, that goes for everyone, man. Not just the people on the field, not just the coaches, not just the teachers, not just the faculty, but that's everybody, security and everybody.
You know, our kids got robbed during the game last week. I think that's a travesty, and I would expect the NCAA to do something about that. That don't make no sense when you're out there balling and playing your heart out, and you're getting robbed in the same aspect. So I hope we could do something about that NCAA. You do something about everything else. Do something about that. When it comes to kids, in regards to the kids, NCAA, you do something about everything else. Do something about this one. All that stuff should be replaced. This is the Rose Bowl. They said the granddaddy of them all, right? I'm sure granddaddy has some money. Grandpa should have some money to get these kids.
All right,
Okay.
so Deion Sanders,
right.
You saw those two clips, Vinny.
Yeah, I don't really. Do you know who these guys are?
The one on the left is Michael Hawley. He used to work at ESPN a long time ago, and the guy on the right, I don't know who he is, but he's not the original host. Michael Smith is.
Okay. So you watch this show? Usually?
Yeah, I've seen the show before. Yeah, I like it.
You like it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, there was something that you said about being on their watch. Now, I'm gonna have to disagree because if we're going to hold that standard, then that should probably be at any establishment, whether if it's in school, whether if it's in at the gym, at a restaurant, then every single establishment should be held responsible if your stuff gets stolen.
Yeah,
Oh, so you agree with that too? Like, yeah, see, like that. The thing is, I do think that you should be responsible for your stuff. I don't think it's fair that you're holding the whatever establishment that you're in, that they should now reimburse every single player's necklaces or chains and Rolexes or money, whatever that they lost, just because somebody decides to be an idiot. Why? How don't they have their own security?
They should. They absolutely should. But like I said, I don't know if that travels with them in the Rose Bowl. But let me push back on what you said. Right? Let's use a school for example. Right? Let's say I have some stuff in my locker. Right? It's random, just basic stuff. Let's say if I have a Switch, let's say if I have some goods in there,
Okay.
and someone comes in and steals it, and we're not talking like picking a lock or like it's not one thing. If you're just if he guesses my combination, then there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay.
There's really nothing I can do. But if he busts my locker open and he steals my stuff, who am I going to hold responsible? Because isn't the school supposed to have security? Isn't the job of the school is to keep the kids safe?
Okay.
And how is it that the kids can go out there, they fly to California to play a game, and they have their stuff stolen in a locker room that is only supposed to be there for authorized users, authorized personnel? It's only supposed to be authorized personnel in there. That's it. And if you have unauthorized personnel willingly and willy-nilly going in there and stealing people's stuff, that's not good, bro. That's not good. Like
Okay.
that's not
I'll respond in a second. I think this is the one where I wanted to read. So this is where I wanted to do a little pushback because it's going to say it right here. So a separate problem comes from proving the losses by the players. How can anyone prove exactly what was stolen? I'm going to have a list made out from these young men, and I know they're going to be truthful about what they lost. So we can try and get back for them, Sanders said. They may not be able to get the items back, but they should be able to reimburse them. That was unbelievable. It's possible Deion is doing a little deflecting here, but maybe he's blaming the NCAA, which I think that's exactly what he's doing, and the Rose Bowl for the theft because Colorado committed negligence in the failure to secure its own locker room. Maybe in the end, it's not the NCAA or the Rose Bowl or anyone else who should be paying for the kids or whatever they had lost. This is the other issue that you're going to have. You have all these kids. You have like 20, 30, 40, 50 players, whatever, how many players they are. All you mean to tell me that every single person lost something? How are you going to be able to prove who lost what, how much it cost, what was it that you actually lost? It's just too much. At the end of the day, go ahead.
You could say that for any theft. Realistically, you can say that for any theft. If someone comes in and breaks into my place and they steal everything, then like I have to put a list down. I'm gonna have to put a list down, but yeah, anybody like someone like let's say someone like you from the outside. I'm not saying you, but someone from the outside. They're like, oh, he didn't have all that stuff. He's probably lying and all the other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People can say that. Like I said, the worry is valid. It definitely is valid. Because someone can be like, yo, man, I have my PS5 in my locker. Someone stole my PS5. I need me a new PS5, knowing that he didn't have one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that it is valid. But I think the bigger issue is how is it that a institution as big as the NCAA and everything that goes around with it, like traveling, getting the big game stuff set, how is it that we're at a point where you have people going in there and stealing other people and going into a locker room they're not supposed to go into and stealing all that stuff and no one saw it? No one saw it? How did that happen?
So clearly it means that they had lousy security. They didn't either they had lousy security who was probably paying attention to the game, or they had no security.
And to be honest with you, that's not on Deion, and that's not on the kids. Because they're out there playing the game.
So you disagree of people blaming Deion Sanders and the kids saying that you guys made yourself a target by flashing it to everybody?
No, I don't agree. I don't agree because at the end of the day, all you're doing is excusing the crime. That's all you're doing. It's the same. It's the same thing when someone says, "Oh, like if a girl gets raped and like, oh, she should not have done that to get raped." And I'm like, I'm not blaming her for another guy committing a crime.
Yeah.
It don't matter if she's naked in front of me. It's not a green light to be like I'm gonna stick my penis in her, and that's it. It's not a green light.
Well, you already know what the argument is going to be. They're going to say, "Why were you there late at night? And why were you wearing a skimpy outfit?" Like that's what they're going to say. And what people who are on her side are going to say, "Well, this is America. You know, we should be able to do whatever we want." But the people on the other side will say, "Okay, granted, but it's not smart to make yourself as an open target." And that's true because we know that there's crimes that are out there. It's not a smart idea for you to make yourself an open target, having your chains, flashing everywhere, knowing where everybody could see it, and now you have a potential chance of getting robbed or getting mugged.
I understand that, but what's worse, flaunting or robbing or stealing?
Yeah. I'm getting mugged. Yeah. Larceny is never an excusable thing. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
So like to me, it doesn't matter what they were doing or not doing. Like that's like me. That's like blaming me for getting if someone stole my wallet and I had and I had like $5 in the wallet, right? And I'm like, damn, they stole my money. They stole my money. They stole everything. It's like blaming me for it. It's like I didn't tell him to steal my wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't tell him to steal my wallet. You know what I mean? It's like I would be like, okay, just because I'm flashing this jewelry, that doesn't give you the license to steal my jewelry. You don't even have to. If I'm flashing the jewelry, unless I'm doing it in your face, I'm not bothering you.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not invading in your personal space, then I'm not bothering you. So to me, anyone blaming Dion and the kids for it, now you can argue if they should have all that stuff with them. I understand that, but even with that, their stuff got stolen, and that should never be excused by any for any reason.
Yeah.
So all right, so
Okay.
let me read some comments.
For goodness sake, got sacked again, dude! Like freaking scramble, you idiot! Go ahead, man. No, I feel like turning this game off.
Let me see. All right, so let me read this from Ruben. Hoovy, he'll perform better in this order: movies, gaming, merch, then comics. I actually do agree with that. Nolan said, as much as the NCAA players aren't making, I would quietly pay those players. Well, they do have NIL, but not every player has NIL. So like I said, but to me, even if it pays not an issue, right? You have these kids out there to play a game where you are making buku money, tons and tons of money off of their game being broadcast around the country. The least you can do is make sure that their stuff is protected while they're out there.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like they're out there entertaining the masses. The least you can do is protect their stuff. That's the least you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like
I said, it's either they didn't have security wasn't doing their job, or maybe it was an inside job. Maybe security has something to do with it. I don't know.
In order for that to happen, like imagine if let's say if it really did happen that all not only did the Dion stuff get stolen, but you had a whole bunch of kids stuff get stolen. All that had to have been an inside job. That had to have been an inside job.
Okay, yeah.
Had to have been. Like I said, like we'll embarrass you, but shut the fuck up about it. He also said the flashiness brings the attention and weak out of money, out money of attention. I apologize, I butchered that one. Yeah, the flashiness brings the attention and weak out money of attention, off attention.
Yeah. He's pretty much saying, yeah,
Hit the bar,
you're making yourself a target.
hit the bar. My bad. We get our NCAA money off attention. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can't text and drink, Nolan. Can't be texting and drinking, bro. I will argue the fuck those kids need rollies as college kids. Bro, that's how kids roll, man. Like, come on, Ruben. You've been a youngster. You're still young. You're still young at heart. You know, like I remember. Okay, I remember when I was working at Tony Romo, right? And you might have been there. We were in Aventura Mall, right? And I had just got. I think I just got out of work.
Nolan was there?
No. I'm talking about you.
Oh, okay.
You were there, and I was in the mall. And remember, I had a couple days. I think I had like a week's works of tips on me, right? I don't know why I had all that money for, but I never used to. I never had a bank account. I always kept my money, like tips and stuff like that. I always kept my money, right? And I had a wad of cash on me. Now, mind you, they were all ones. But I had a wad of cash on me, and I was just walking through the mall counting the money. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it for attention, but I know it got attention. So like youngsters like to flash. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. I went into the roll store in Aventura. Shortly before I left, the cheapest rollie on the store was $20K, and that was a woman's watch. To get a men's watch, I would not recommend my children buy a rollie, then bring it anywhere near a locker room.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
I understand that, but like, first of all, bro, the only place I go to in Aventura nowadays, the cheapest thing in there is probably GameStop.
Man.
The cheapest place in Aventura Mall is probably GameStop. I ain't gonna hold you. It's probably GameStop. Ruben continues, we can only relate by the most expensive things we have, like stolen car, stolen phone, stolen console. These guys have the down payment for the mortgage stolen on their wrist. Why the mortgage on your wrist as a college player? Blame Deion like he orchestrated the crime. As far as theft goes, there should be a cover by the venue. And yeah, I agree. We can't be texting and drinking. Now, I understand what you're saying, Ruben. I really do. To me, at the end of the day, none of that, and I get it. Like, you got the rollies, and I first of all that stuff is marketing. Oh, let's fumble.
Crap, man, so close.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, like all like having the rollies, all that other stuff. I get what you're saying, but all that to me does not excuse the crime. You know what I mean? Like, and you are right. They like either NCAA or the venue should reimburse them, because there's no reason how anybody unauthorized should have access to that locker room. There's no way they can pull a job like that. Like, there's no way they should be able to pull a job like that. See a water once is appropriate for a college kid. A rollie is unheard of. I get it, but like NIL deals are a big deal, and I guarantee you that's part of the marketing for Colorado to attract more recruits. Right? That's what Deion said. That's why Deion's there in the first place. They're using his flashiness his aura, his charisma to bring better athletes to Colorado. All that stuff is related. Like, because obviously, he'll bring in The Rock, he'll bring in all these celebrities. All that stuff, frankly, is marketing. All that stuff is marketing, and I guarantee you, all the rollies, the flashiness, all that stuff is marketing.
Yeah,
all that stuff is marketing, because he wants to turn it into what it was like when he played at FSU. Because I mean, during those times, during the 80s and early 90s, bro, those guys were, and there was no NIL deal there. There was no NIL deal, but they were flashing jewelry. They were doing all that stuff, and for a fact they weren't getting that stuff legally. You know what I'm saying? So all that stuff is just marketing. But yeah, but like you said, and like I said before, it doesn't excuse the crime, because there's no way that something like that should happen in a venue like that. Could you imagine hearing something like that happen in a Dolphin game or an NFL game? Unheard of, and it can't happen here. So yeah, I mean, this is my last comment on this. You can have the last word. Like again, you can argue over them having the stuff on them. Like, you can even argue if the attention is too much. At the end of the day, for me, doesn't excuse the crime. That's
fair.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. If you want to move on, we can move on. If you have anything else to say, we can move on.
No, yeah, I'm done.
Okay. So, let me explain this real quick. Let me explain this. All right. So I'm gonna do a screen share. We're gonna be on my Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
And this is. Can you see this comment? Can you see this comment right here?
Yeah.
Okay. This is important announcement from PlayStation. Important changes to PlayStation communities on your PS5 console. As of November 13th, so we're talking pretty much next week, basically. So next week.
Come on, dude.
Integration. It's okay. Integration with X, formerly known as Twitter, because X is such a better name than Twitter.
Yeah.
Sarcasm. Will no longer function on PS5 and PS4 consoles. This includes the ability to view any content published on X on PS5/4, and the ability to post and view content, trophies, and other gameplay-related activities on X directly from PS5/PS4, or link an X account to do so. For details on how to share Game Catcher for PS5, click the link below, the button below. So here's what the situation is, right? Now, one of the things that made the PS4 such a great console was its ability to save gameplay without a capture card, the ability to share that content on YouTube or Twitter, right? YouTube or Twitter, right? And it was something that it was grateful for me. It was something that I love doing on my PS4 and on my PS5. Like, I love sharing content. I love sharing pictures. I love doing all that on there. And the way
Twitter.
they did it, yeah. And the way they did it on the console was super easy. Okay. It was easy. It was convenient. It was a great thing. It was really the major thing. Now, when you compare it to Microsoft, this happened to Microsoft a couple months ago. They stopped a couple months ago. But on Microsoft platform, it's clunky, it's awful, the DVR sucks, and it just is not good. But on PS4, PS5, it was excellent. And the reason why this is happening The reason why Sony decided, to end this is
Mhm.
because Elon Musk is a fucking moron. Ever since he bought Twitter and changed it to X, that platform has gone downhill.
Okay.
Downhill. Right? And the reason why they're doing this, and I think this is the reason why Microsoft decided to do it too, is because they're charging them too much to have that integration into the console. X was charging them too much to have that functionality on their console. That's
So
why
they were charging you just to have that feature there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that they were being charged. Wow. Okay. All right. Continue.
And Elon Musk is a fucking moron. I'm sorry, he is. Because this is the reason why this is happening. Is why it happened to Microsoft. And the reason why they don't get the benefit of the doubt is because their DVR, the way they handle their DVR is fucking garbage. The way that they share content was fucking garbage. So they don't get the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Sony created the share button for the reason is to share it. Is to show people. That's a great catch.
All right, I'm done with this game, man. I'm every time they take them on third down, or if it's third and long, they cannot freaking stop them. Damn, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So the reason why this is happening because Elon Musk is a fucking moron, and I'm pissed off about it. Now I can still share it on Twitter, but now I have to go through the app, and the PlayStation app is good, but it's easier, it's more convenient, it's better to do it from the console to Twitter, because even if I share it on the console, I can still play the game. I gotta do pause it real quick, do whatever tags I put in, share it, and continue playing. Now I gotta go to the phone. I gotta download the picture onto the phone, and I mean, and then and even sometimes even that won't work.
Wow.
On the app from time to time. Sometimes it's like the app is good, but it's not perfect. It's good, but it's not perfect. And to me, this is a fail. This is a fail. And but I don't blame Sony for it. I blame Elon Musk for being a fucking moron.
Okay, so since now that you have gone more depth of what's going on, I think I think I'm gonna have to go on your side, because once again I didn't even know that they were being charged so much money just to have that functionality. I had no idea. So pretty much whatever it is that you played or whatever trophy that you got, you were able to instantly share it on Twitter. But now Sony and Microsoft is pretty much saying, nope, you can no longer do that. So now you got to do extra work. You have to do extra work, or you have to download it on your phone, or download it on your laptop, or put it into your SD card, stick it to the laptop, and then upload it on Twitter or from your phone. That's what you got to do now. That is such such BS that you have to go through the inconvenience, extra steps that you have to take just to upload stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, while I'm on Twitter, this is the Heat Court, the Heat Culture Court. See, it looks a lot better than that disgusting in tournament court.
Okay, yeah, it looks a lot cleaner.
Yeah. All right, but so I mean, I don't know if I don't really have much else to say. I'm disappointed. Because like I said, Twitter continues to go down the shitter because some fucking idiotic billionaire decided to buy it and ruin it. So
okay. I mean, it's going to take extra, obviously take extra steps for you to upload your stuff. And but are you are you still able to, but you say you're able to upload it from from YouTube and or Twitch. Well, can't you
yeah.
can't you once you post it on YouTube, can't you just send it from YouTube to to Twitter after that?
If it's a video, yeah. But and I can still do it. I can still do it from the phone. It's just that
Mhm.
doing it from the console is just more convenient.
Okay.
It's just more convenient doing it from the phone. From not from your phone, but from the console. And obviously
Yeah.
the Heat in season court, which looks hideous. I just want to share that
Yeah,
real
like
quick.
it's too like exotic. Like it's just crazy.
Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, so I'm done with that. I just I just wanted to share it because Elon Musk is a fucking moron. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I have to say. We have one more topic left.
Yeah. Oh wait,
And
let me read a couple comments. I personally know close people who are checking for Roldo Solo, free Dion Rez, likely Bay and my boss, paid them kids. Um, I mean, man, but Elon is fucking up. He needs to include, not exclude. What Elon Musk wants to do with Twitter or X or whatever the fuck he wants to call it, he wants people to pay to use it. He wants
which
people
is
to
which is no surprise with all the money he spent on it,
yeah,
to get it.
yeah. But now when it comes to edit, in order to have an edit button, you need to pay for that. In order to, I think there's other function that you need that you need to pay for that. And no one told that fucking moron to spend something $1 billion on it. No
Yeah.
one told that fucking moron to do that. And we have to suffer because he doesn't know how to run. He doesn't know how to run the company. Fucking moron. Anyways, main topic. This is you again.
Yeah. So this is the main topic that I wanted to talk about so bad. And we are finally here. Oh my gosh, am I not happy? And if you guys thought I was not happy when it comes to Spider-Man, I am seriously not happy with this. What am I talking about now? I want you all to see exactly what I'm seeing. Can everybody see this? You can see it?
Yeah.
Xbox is banning unauthorized controllers and accessories. Now, and it says the fighting game enthusiasts and others are furious about the new Xbox Series X/S policy. Now, yeah, you know what? No, I'll mention the other accessories after I read this. Now, I'm there's something I have to mention with the accessories also. Microsoft appears to be cracking down on third-party peripherals for its consoles. Players are reporting getting error messages when they try to use certain off-brand controllers on Xbox Series X/S, with the accompanying text telling them that the devices are not authorized and will no longer usable come mid-November. A lot of crazy things is happening in November, man.
Mm-hmm.
The major policy change is sparking a loud outcry from various gaming communities, including fighting game players who often use third-party fight sticks for high-level competition. The upcoming change was first reported last week over Windows Central. An Xbox One user reported getting an OX82602 error code when trying to use her existing off-brand Xbox controller. A connected accessory is not authorized, a console warning read. Using unauthorized accessories compromises your gaming experience. Let me stop right here. Let me stop right here. The first question I want to ask If using an unauthorized accessory compromises your gaming experience, shouldn't that be first off be my choice if I the way how I want to experience a console, a game, or an accessory? Shouldn't that be my choice? Shouldn't you have me make that decision for myself if I'm experiencing the game correctly or not? Shouldn't I make the final say if I should use this particular accessory? How is it that you are going to tell me how I'm supposed to experience a particular game or a particular controller? That thing when I before this podcast had even started, when I was reading this really ticked me off. Unauthorized accessory compromises your gaming experiences. Like, who the hell are you to tell me what experience that I want to, what game that I want to experience in, or how am I supposed to enjoy a particular game? You don't have the right to tell me how I'm supposed to experience something. You don't have that right. You don't. And it says for that reason, the unauthorized accessory will be blocked from use 11, 12, 23. That's like what, next week?
Yeah.
That's next week.
The day before Sony kills integration of Twitter.
And look, for the last time, and I'm going to call all the people out that disagree with me. Whether if it was Jabanis, Juan, all of you. I tried to tell you over and over and over again, Xbox, Microsoft is trying to take full control of your stuff. If this has nothing to do with control, then I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Clearly, I have no idea what the meaning, or I'm just not using it correctly. But Microsoft is trying to take full control and trying to tell you what to do with your stuff. That's what they're trying to do. Now, do you have anything to say before I continue reading on?
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
Okay. So, yeah, so this is one of the, let me see. Let me try to see if I could upload this. On Twitter. Are you seeing Twitter right now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're still sharing.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, all right. I really don't want to read all of this, but let me see. I'm trying to get something that's important. Okay. So, affected products, the Wingman XB2 converter. I tried to remember what this was, but I officially remember what it was. I think what this thing does is it could actually convert one controller, and you could use a controller from another company. Like, I think this allows you to use a PlayStation controller on your Xbox, correct?
I'll look it up. Let me look it up. Wingman XB2 converter. I'll look it up.
Because apparently a lot of people uses this device, and if I'm right about that, it truly makes a lot of sense. And the reason why I say it makes a lot of sense, I despise that freaking Xbox controller.
Give me the full name of it.
Wingman XB2, and it says converter, space converter.
Okay. Look this bad boy up.
Yeah, upload it so I could see it real quick.
Yeah.
And yeah, for the rest of you guys in the chat can see also. So just share it, and then we could see.
Okay. Share. Okay, the Wingman XB2.
You see.
Okay, so they even have the updated note right here. Xbox Series X/S and Xbox One. Both this is and that includes the old Xbox.
I see. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Will no longer be supported from November 2023. Now, this is what the functionality of the device is. Supports wirelessly Xbox Series.
Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and the Elite.
Yeah, Elite 2. These are all the controllers that are compatible with this. So
yeah,
pretty much what this is you take this converter and it will connect whatever controller you have to that Xbox. So if you have a PlayStation 4 controller, if you have a PS5 controller, you want to use it on the Xbox, you can do that with this. At least until you know.
Dude, and having and the part that where you highlighted, the part where that you well it's already highlighted, but where it talks, you could use old controllers. This converter is such a cool device. It is such a cool. Now look, I never had a converter before. I think there was one time I wanted to have one when I had the 360, and I wanted to use the 360 on my PS3 because I just love the 360 controller over my PS3, and then I just completely forgot about the converter. I forgot why, but I just completely forgot. But I wanted to buy a converter back then.
Yeah.
And the part where it's highlighted, look at all the devices, all the different controllers that you could use. This is an awesome device. Yeah. And Microsoft is saying, oh, nope, you are no longer to use this, despite the fact that these are main brands. And not only that, with this Wingman converter, you're basically pretty much telling them that we can't even use your own controllers. Because it says the Xbox One and the Elite controllers that you're not even allowed to use anymore.
Well, but is this thing? Can you do the same thing when it comes to, like, let's say if I connect this to my PlayStation, will then that will allow me to use the Xbox controller on it?
Yeah, I think I think that will be compatible for any console. Yeah.
So okay, that's why it's there. So if you want to use the Xbox controller on another console, you can do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like if you use the PlayStation controller on the Xbox, you can do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Now look, I don't know if you ever own a converter, but
well, I remember Randy. I think Randy. He's used it before. I know I've used it via Randy. Like when I think man, I'll have to ask him, but I know he's bought converters before.
Yeah. And I'm looking, it says lag-free Wingman XB2 improves wireless connectivity on Switch Pro. Package include Wingman and Converter 1. Other gaming accessories supports 125 modern controllers. The 125 modern controllers this thing could support.
Yeah.
This one stick could support 125 modern controllers, and Microsoft is saying no, you can no longer use this. That is crazy. That's crazy. All right, so let me go back to my article. Unless you have something else to read on your end.
No, you're good.
All right, so let me go back to my article. Let me go back to mine. Okay, so here it says the USB fighting board, UFB Fusion fighting board, resolution steering wheel. Okay, you and I had talked about steering wheels before.
Mm-hmm. And to know, they have a exclusive simulation racer, Forza, that just came out not too long ago, and I get a lot of the competitive Forza players use wheels.
Yes,
they use wheels. Like if you're doing competitive racing on gaming, you're using a wheel.
And you know what's funny? when you was talking about that tournament not too long ago, that you said you was watching and how everybody was like using the wheels.
Mhm.
When I was making the comparison, with the fighting game community and how when you're watching a Tekken, or if you're watching Street Fighter or Guilty Gear, whatever, you see some people using sticks, you see some people using regular controls like we do.
Yeah.
When it comes to that tournament though that you was talking about, bro, I didn't see not one person use a regular controller.
No, no, no. Okay, it was all set up. They were all set up to use the wheel.
Okay, so it's not, so you don't have a choice. You have to use the wheel.
I mean, maybe if you want to, you can use a controller, but every guy there, every guy and girl there, they use a wheel.
Yeah. Okay. And
They,
so all the racing, I don't know if you call it, car racing community, the fighting games community, you can't use your fight sticks, you cannot use wheels. What the hell is Microsoft trying to do? Now, I already said that they're pretty much trying to control everything, but what is the sole purpose of this? You can't say that it's piracy. You can't say it's piracy. Like, what is the problem here? What is the goal that you're trying to reach? Is it what you just want us to buy, just Microsoft products? Is that what it is? What's the reason? Do you have a theory?
from what I heard, it is to protect from cheating online. From what I've heard, but here's the thing. And let me see if I can find something here, because I could have sworn you can use a mouse and keyboard on the Xbox, but I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't think you can use it
Oh,
anymore.
wait. Hold on 1 second here. Let me see here.
So let's go to touchdown.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't confirm. I can't confirm. But here's the thing, right?
Yeah, that's the
Now
thing.
I have now. Here's the thing. I have a a a third party controller. I have a third party controller for the Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, that is the one that lights up.
Yeah.
I have that one now. So far, I've been able to use it. Right, the brand is called Power A.
Power A.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I don't know if they're if they're allowed to use it. Now if you're authorized, then you can use it.
Okay.
But if you're not authorized, then you can't use it. But to me, I don't understand why this is a thing. I don't understand. One, you're obviously screwing over the fighting game community. You're
Mm-hmm.
screwing over the racing car community.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like, what's the point? What's the point? And like, I just don't understand the need to do this. I really don't.
Yeah. Let,
Because
let me. Let, oh, go ahead. My bad. My bad. Go ahead.
all your games go on PC anyway. So if your game's going on PC, you can't relegate that. Because when you're going on PC, not only do you have the mouse and keyboard as a major advantage for some games, not every game, but some games, the mouse and keyboard will be a major advantage. Not only do you have that, you also have a group of gamers who you cannot legislate. You can't you can't govern those people because one, you don't force them to have Xbox Live or Game Pass or whatever. That one it? Oh shit! Oh crap! You don't have them. You don't. They can play against other people without using Game Pass. And if they're cheating, you can probably catch them once in a while, but you can't govern that. Because you can't control how a PC gamer uses their device. You can't control what device they use, whether they're
Yeah.
using a PlayStation controller, an arcade stick, whatever. So for them to do this, to me, this doesn't make any sense. Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
So
Whatever potential good this does completely gets outweighed by the bad that it caused and the people who you're affecting. For every one person who's happy about this, there's 10 people who are not happy about it.
what is there to be happy about? Like who what the people who are happy about this? What is there is to be happy about? Because it's okay. Let me continue reading on because this is just really driving me nuts. So a similar warning was supported by accessory maker Brook Gaming, which specializes in fighting boards, with fighting sticks and steering wheel adapters. Recently, we have received players' feedback concerning these products when used on Xbox console. The latest OS version, released on 10/16 during online gameplay, the company tweeted on October 20th. We deeply regret any inconvenience this may cause you. As many players have pointed out, this new policy could be one way that Microsoft is attempting to crack down on manufacturers of XIM and Cronus Zen adapters, which help players modify their controller inputs to cheat in popular online shooters like Call of Duty, Warzone 2, and Rainbow Six Siege. At the same time, the blanket ban will also mean that lots of cheaper off-brand controllers and custom gaming accessories will no longer work on Xbox. Now, the reason why this part also irritates me, Hoovy, you and I know you mentioned that you have a third-party controller, but
which is $30 cheaper than an Xbox controller.
now you know what, Hoovy? I'm glad that you said that. Continue talking. I just give me like 15 seconds. Continue talking.
Yeah, so the Power 8 controller that I have it's a wired controller. It's wired, so I have to connect it to the console, right? And I'm cool with that. It don't bother me where wireless wired don't bother me, right? The main reason why I bought it is because of the lights. I like flashy things. I like lights. So yeah. I bought it for that reason. And like I said, now the PlayStation controllers are more expensive. Like the DualShock 5s DualSense, they're $80, right? They're expensive as hell. The Microsoft controllers are 70. So it's not as expensive, but it's still expensive. And so that's why I bought the Power A controller. And in the past, I bought unique controller for the Xbox. Like I bought the Duke controller. I bought a wired controller with blue camouflage on it. So I bought. When it comes to PlayStation, I will always buy the official controller unless it's like a special controller. Like I want to buy a six face button controller to play Street Fighter on it, right? But other than that, any controller I buy from PlayStation will be a traditional PlayStation controller. With Xbox, I'll have two official, and I'll probably like to buy one that's like not official. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Power A is the non-official one. So, like I said, so far I'm fine because I used it and nothing happened. But if it happens again, if it happens to a point where I can't use that controller anymore, I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm not going to be happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to have to get rid of it. And it's not something that I want to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So,
saying? So yeah, go ahead.
The reason why I left, because now I don't have the Xbox and I'm not planning on getting one, but you can see this controller, right?
I'll blow it up on my side, but yeah.
Okay. Now this controller, is for the Switch, and I have something similar to it, which is this one.
Yeah.
That's also for the Switch. The main reason why I bought these was one, Joy-Cons for the Switch, they're just too small for me. They're
So,
small.
you can say the proper term.
What's the proper term?
Garbage. You're
Oh,
garbage.
okay. Okay. They're too small. And as much as I love the Pro controller, even that thing is way too expensive. Now
Yeah,
I don't.
I think that one's $80 too.
Yeah, $780. Yes.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if you remember, but when we was having our game night, I think one of the games we were playing was Ultra Street Fighter 2. I
Mhm.
forgot which one of these that you were using, but you enjoyed the feel of the controller. I cannot remember which one it was.
I think it was the one on the right.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. And dude, these controllers feel fabulous. They're outstanding controllers. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, bro, I saved so much money by buying third-party controllers on my Switch. Xbox is going to completely remove that by not allowing you to buy much cheaper controllers that are just as good, where you could actually save money. And on top of that, you're hurting all of these third party companies that really that makes a nice decent profit margin with these extra accessories. Now, somebody in the chat,
They
go
didn't
ahead.
even warn you. They didn't even warn you about it too. They just happened, boom, just like that.
Yeah, like you're hurting all of these companies that makes these accessories so that they could stay in business. Like, dude, it did. As much as I hated them in the beginning, it broke my heart that Mad Catz no longer exists.
Oh,
And
yeah,
now
so after Rodolphe, I think he said, yeah, he mentioned Mad Cat. I think Mad Cat's still in the clear, just knockoffs. They don't get the okay from Microsoft.
yeah,
I think Mad Catz is dead.
yeah. That's why it really bothered me that they no longer exist. But you see how amazing it was, bro. Like whether if you had bought your Xbox controller and me buying these extra controllers for the Switch, it felt amazing that I saved money and having controllers that were still just as good, if not better. That's you just enhancing the experience by giving the consumer the power of choice. And when you constantly remove that, all you really doing at the end of the day, you're just causing people to just hate you and to hate your products. All you're doing to me right now, I am just shunning further and further and further away from the Xbox brand. That's what you're doing to me. And remember, I love the 360. That's one of my favorite consoles, of all time. And I was getting on board on the Microsoft brand, but then you already know what happened in next gen. I just didn't support either console. And then with this one, now I'm just not interested in the Microsoft brand anymore. I'm not. How are you making the experience better for me when you are removing the power of choice? It doesn't make any sense. Let me go back to the article because I think there's one last thing that's also very important.
All right, while you get there, let me read some more comments. All right, so damn locked out Mad Cats through their keyboards, though their keyboards are fire. Is Mad Cat still in business? I had no idea they're still in business.
I don't think they are.
I'll look it up real quick, but let me read this one thing. Ruben said, since Power A is wired and work for PC, there is no way you will be banned. I think the ban they meant converters.
No, we have the list. Like there's a list of all the different controllers that will no longer be authorized, on the Xbox anymore. But what were you gonna say?
No. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. We read some of the controllers on that list. A lot of those controllers you won't be able to use. Like a lot of those fight sticks and the wheels, you cannot use it on the Xbox anymore, and people are not happy with that. And I understand, the frustration. And now with this tweet, Maximilian, who I follow, I don't know if you still follow him. Do you follow him?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cool. I like his channel. So he says, "Hey yo, this is essentially a death sentence for local fighting game events that run on Xbox, much less others that can only afford one arcade stick." Yeah, dude, these arcade sticks are expensive.
And the
Dude,
thing
like,
is that
go ahead.
when it comes to him specifically, he's a big fan of Killer Instinct on the Xbox. He's always championing that. Yeah, he's always championing that game. So
yeah,
this news pissed him off greatly.
yeah, and he says the book gaming fans, converters are not cheap devices. They are huge boon to the FGC. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Madcast do exist.
They're still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
They did file for bankruptcy in 2017.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but they I think another company bought the rights, and I mean, you look at the stuff. This stuff looks good, man. Look, I'm on it right here. Let's go to the product. Like they have mouses, mouse pads, keyboards.
Wow, that's cool.
Headphones and they have controllers.
Oh, click on some of the controller stuff. Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the Ego Fight Stick. This looks good here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back. Let me see the Cat 12. Let me see how that looks. Yeah, computer acting a little slow. Oh, there we go. This is the
ergonomic.
Yeah, RGB Switch controller.
Oh, it's a Switch controller. Okay.
Yeah, but they're not. But it's my internet's acting slow.
Okay.
But, yeah. So they do exist.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll probably buy, a controller. Now you said before I continue reading, you said you don't buy third-party PS5 controllers.
No, like when on the PS4, right? Oh wow, he had it and he dropped it. Anyways, okay, so on the PS4, every controller that I bought that I used for it was a PlayStation controller, with the exception of two controllers that I bought that were like fight pads.
Okay.
And then I also bought the Heat Design PlayStation controller.
Yeah. I remember it. I think you bought that at Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
Or somewhere. Yeah.
Supercon. I bought it at Supercon. And yeah, that one, even though with the design, it was still a regular controller.
Yeah.
Even with the design, it was still a regular controller. Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah, I still have it.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, when okay. So let me show you this real quick. If I load it up, that's the Cat 12.
Oh wow! Look at that. Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. Looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. I do like the design of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but other than that, like I normally just buy regular controllers, right? But when an Xbox, I can
damn it, man.
With Xbox, I can dabble a little bit more. So.
Oh, I thought he made it, and he just missed it. Come on, bro. We went through the whole game not scoring that one touchdown. So freaking close. All right, I'm done. I'm done. All right. Okay. So Wario 64. I heard of him before. I think I know who he is. Yeah. So he posted this. Connected accessory not authorized. So yeah, like this stuff is legit. So Let me see if there's anything else that's important here that I'm trying to remember. Let me see. Okay, the biggest question about the new restrictions is whether peripherals makers will be able to apply to become authorized suppliers, or if the ban will remain in place for anyone who doesn't have a branded deal with Xbox. That would mean companies paying Microsoft for authorizations potentially increase the costs of the devices themselves, or forcing some manufacturers to stop making devices for Xbox entirely. Dude, bro. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a situation that's already in place on PlayStation. Really? And it's a huge drag. Wait. Hold on. Am I reading this right? This is the situation that's already in place on PlayStation. Is that true?
Um, to my knowledge, I would probably say yeah, but our case, look, yeah, on like when they do tournaments, Evo tournament sticks are used. Tournament tournament sticks are used.
Hmm.
Arcade sticks are used.
Yeah.
So I don't like so yeah, it may not be it may not be as yeah, they probably
Because
do support the official stuff, but
because it says PS5 only supports officially licensed controllers and accessories, of which there are very few. Most are quite pricey. The result has been a near total lockdown that gives players few alternatives to Sony DualSense. Microsoft now seems to be heading in the same unfortunate direction. Sony's already did this?
but here's the thing. All the Evo tournaments are on PlayStations. And there are tons of people who are using sticks.
And they're all different types of sticks.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the last part, and then that'll be it. A spokesperson for Microsoft confirmed the ban will soon go into effect and said it's for performance, security, and safety. Bunch of crap. Microsoft and other licensed Xbox hardware partners accessories are designed and manufactured with quality standards for performance, security, and safety, they wrote in a statement. Unauthorized accessories can compromise the gaming experience on Xbox consoles. Xbox One, Xbox Series X players may receive a pop-up warning that their accessory is unauthorized. Eventually, the unauthorized accessory will be blocked from use or preserve the console gaming experience. All right, so at the end of the day, this is a bunch of garbage. This is a bunch of crap. This is just complete asinine of what Microsoft is doing. I don't support this, and I don't like it. And here's the thing, having I don't know if you can answer this question, but this is also something that I'm also wondering. If Microsoft is going to ban all of these accessories, all of these wheels, all of these fight sticks, and all these different cheap option controls that you can no longer choose. Once they ban these controllers or fight sticks, that also mean I'm thinking, like, let me know if I'm wrong. That also mean you won't even be able to play these even on single player mode.
Yeah, and that to me, that's the part that I also have a major problem with. If you don't want me to take the controller online, then fine. But if I'm playing this on my own by myself, I should be able to use the controller.
So, which is why, how are you trying to tell me what my experience is supposed to be like? If I choose to play on single player mode, how am I going to compromise somebody else's experience if I'm playing by myself? I'm playing single player mode on my own. Like it's for me, for my personal enjoyment, for my entertainment. And if the console bans all of the different controllers that I have, I can't play single player mode either. This is just the type of stuff that I just despise when it comes to online. Like, they're just removing all of these choices, all of these options that I used to have. I no longer have them. I just cannot support this type of practice. This stinks. This sucks. So dude, bro. Do you believe me now that this is about control, or you think I'm still being hyperbolic about that?
When it comes to this, yeah, this is to me, this is a step too far. This is a step too far because essentially what you're doing is you are literally taking you're literally forcing people. And yeah, if Sony's doing the same thing, then they can go fuck themselves too. You're literally forcing the the industry. You're manipulating the prices in your industry in your industry.
Yes.
You're purposely manipulating the market with the prices when you're like, oh, unauthorized controllers are not allowed. And look, unless it has like a turbo thing or whatever, then there's no reason why a controller should be banned. Unless there is something going on with that controller. And even with that, there's a report button that you can do if someone using an illegal controller online. You can report them. You can still do video. You can still record them doing it, and you can get them in trouble. To me, they're trying to tackle an issue that I don't think is major for the sake of doing it. I feel like they're doing it for the sake of doing it, and they're using safety and what else? What other crap do they use? Safety and security and all. I think they're using that as an excuse. It's a
I
convenient excuse
yeah. Go ahead.
because, like I said before, like you have arcade sticks, you have racing wheels, you have other controllers, like you have like obviously you have the elite, but they have also controllers that are like branded elite controllers, like high premium, like $200-$300 controllers
Yeah.
that people want to use, and they should be allowed to use it as long as it's fair, as long as it's not cheating. Now, obviously, if they spend $300 on a controller, then obviously it might perform better. But that's just how it is. That it is what it is. But when you go to a tournament, like as long as you guys are on the even playing field, it don't matter.
Yeah. And look, even if they do have a turbo button, so what if it has a turbo button? If I'm playing by myself, if I'm playing against the AI, what does it matter? I honestly believe you shouldn't be punished or you shouldn't be ridiculed or whatever. Now you might not get the same bragging rights. Yeah, people might make fun of you, for it, because like over the years, back in the day, people would talk about using cheat codes or doing that for certain games because games was just simply too hard, or certain bosses were just too hard to beat. I don't see a problem of using cheap controllers if you're playing by yourself. Playing online, okay, fine. I can understand you want to ban those controllers if they have a turbo on it, if they're customized, for some reason. Because I've seen videos of customized controllers to where a sniper rifle could act like an AK, like shoot like an AK. I don't know if you've seen it before, but I've seen those type of videos before.
Yeah, I seen those too.
Yeah, yeah, okay, stuff like that. I am 100% on board with it because you play against other people and you're cheating.
But
But
is
at
it?
the end,
But
go
my
ahead.
question. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my question is this: is it to the level to where you have to now ban all the other controllers um to do that, right? Is that such a big problem that you have people who are using these magic controllers to where
Yeah,
now you have to like completely ban all unauthorized controllers?
right.
That you have to change your policy. You have to, you know, that you can't do this, you can't do that with a controller now because of one. Because what? How many times has this been an issue? Is it an issue when you do the Halo tournaments? No. Is it an issue when you do the Forza tournaments? No.
No.
And to me, I just feel like they use it as an excuse to put in the policy. That's what they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. They're using it to put in the policy. I personally believe that the reason why they're doing this is so that you could buy the Xbox brands only.
Yeah.
Now, people may say, "Oh, I'm being hyperbolic about it." That's probably a stretch, but that's my speculation. I think the reason why they're doing it is so that they can have full control, so that they can manipulate the market, tell you what to do, and so that you could only buy the Xbox brands. Now, if there's other brands that are out there that you could use, okay, fine. But I still think that the ultimate goal is to limit your choice so that it increases the chance for you to buy their products and their products only. Because again, why? Because even if what they're saying is legit, I should still be able to use that controller on single player mode anyway.
Yeah.
And now I cannot. And you're hurting all of these, and like I said, you're hurting all of these other third party businesses who rely on the sales of these products. You're hurting so many people, not just gamers, but you're hurting all of these businesses that makes these different types of controllers. You're hurting so many people. And I'm sorry, this is a particular brand that I refuse to support. I don't like Xbox Game Pass. I don't like the fact that you're trying to control us what we can say and what we cannot say online. That's also part of control. And now you doing this? Screw you, Microsoft. Screw you, Xbox. I officially, well, I already said I officially, but I'll just repeat it again. I'm officially getting rid, boycotting the Xbox brand. That's it. I am done with Xbox.
Let's read some comments. Ruben said that he prefers the Xbox style controller. And I think you do too, right?
No, I hate the Xbox controller.
Well, I mean, you like the 360.
The 360 is the best one. Yeah, I love the 360 controller.
Okay.
But you, I don't know if you remember, but you've heard me complain about the Xbox One controller. That stupid flat D-pad. That's an awful D-pad. And I remember I told Soul, I said, Soul, I never want to use this controller again. And if I end up getting an Xbox One, like I said before, I'm definitely getting third-party controllers. I am not supporting, this type of controller. That controller was garbage. I think I gave it an F. Awful D-pad controller. But now if I had the console, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Although if you plug in a Bluetooth dongle, I just use the Xbox Series X controller and haven't needed a dongle since 360. He said that he don't like the locking out of third party. I think same thing.
Yeah.
Right. So you mentioned that MacCat isn't dead, which he was right. Get a Rat 5 mouse and keyboard. You won't regret it. Best mouse and keyboard ever used. I'll keep that in mind when I buy my computer. Better than Razer. Said that the Logitech wheel is superior anyway, and the MacCast devices on PC is fire. And I can't deny that because that's a lot. That's some good stuff that they have on there.
Oh yeah. That stuff that you were showing, they look incredible.
You said to buy a keyboard. It's the last keyboard you'll need. Talking to you.
I mean, I've heard people say that they like using the keyboard, especially for for first person shooters. Mm-hmm. But I did also hear that it is kind of unfair using that on console. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. All I do is Mad Cats. It's funny because that was not their reputation back in the day.
No,
I think a lot of you guys know. A lot of you guys are around our age. That was not always the case. Trust me, I remember buying a $20 Mad Cat controller and it broke on me two weeks later. It was clear that you just were outmatched since the fumble.
Yeah. Look, I even called it in the beginning that I knew we weren't going to win that game. I knew we were going to lose that game, but I didn't think we wasn't going to score not at least one touchdown. Like, for goodness sakes, man, a pathetic performance from the offense.
Yeah, and I mean, we beat them.
Barely.
You guys, and you guys didn't. You guys didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. And Ruben said that he just ordered wings and drinks. Rodolphe said that exactly what I thought. Licensing and certification isn't FGC PlayStation exclusive. Not really, but Evo is a PlayStation. PlayStation bought Evo, and
Yeah.
all the major fighting game tournament, all the major fighting game tournaments that they had there, they were using PlayStations.
Was did Capcom Pro Tour, do they use only PlayStations too?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember.
That I
I'll
don't
have
know.
all right. I
But
have to go back and look.
but if you're PlayStation, right? Let's think about this logically, right? You buy Evo. Why would you not want as many controllers branded for the fight stick branded as for your PlayStation? You know what I'm saying? If you understand what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it be a bad look if you bought Evo and everybody just using PCs to play these games? It would absolutely be a bad look.
Yeah.
So again, like so when it comes to the way Sony do it, obviously they did the same thing. So then that's not good. But when it comes to, because I remember distinctly, when it comes to Evo, they're all using PlayStation, and like you said, everyone has their own sticks. Yeah, like Rudolph said, you bring your own stick. Yeah, so I'm like I said, I don't know if it's all of them, but I know on Evo they're using PlayStations. Yeah, use PC, then use what controller you want. That NVIDIA 3090 will be superior to a PS5.
I
Graphic
never
card.
heard of that one. I'll look it up and check it out. I never heard of that before, but I mean, yeah, you're probably right, and you're right that if you're not going to be supporting Xbox anymore, yeah, you might as well just go to PC if you want to play some of the Xbox games. They're all going to be on PC anyway, and then you could use whatever controller that you want, and you have the freedom of choice and options again. But as far as Xbox, yeah, screw them.
Yeah, graphic cards upgrade often than console period. Yeah. Microsoft MS Gaming, that's the separation. You can swap buttons. You can swap out buttons and get add-ons. So I mean that's pretty much it.
Well,
Like
Riddler. Now I think you were also someone I wanted to call out. Now officially with this article, I was right this whole entire time that Microsoft is just trying to control you. That's what they're trying to do. This solidifies that statement. They are trying to control everything. They're trying to control the gaming industry, the market, and they're trying to control us. That's what they're trying to do. Go ahead, Ubi.
yeah, so I mean I'm pretty much done. Like I just to me I don't understand the need to do this. I think yeah, like I said, I don't understand the need to do this. Like I just think that you're just handicapping all the people who want to use ulterior methods of playing your console.
Yeah.
And like I said, you have Forza that just came out recently. A lot of people use racing wheels, and the fact that now you have to worry if your controller is gonna work on a car game like Forza with a racing wheel, and you find that mess, and those racing wheels are not cheap.
Yeah, it's true. I know.
Those racing wheels are not cheap, and you go get a message saying that you can't use this controller no more. That would suck massively.
Yeah. It would absolutely. It would suck, and and people, when people say that Microsoft is anti-consumer, this just once again solidifies that's exactly what they are. They're anti-consumer, because I remember a long time ago you had a old video of how important it is for you to have options. I don't know if you remember that video. I forgot what you was talking about, but you made it. I think you was talking about PlayStation,
Uh-huh.
and you were saying how great of a feeling it is for you to have options. And that and I 100% agree with that, because whether if it's having all different type of options when it comes to games, having all the different type of options when it comes to controllers and other accessories, that's a good thing. That's a good experience to have when it comes to gaming, as it pertains to gaming. But when you're constantly getting rid of that, you're just ruining all the experience that we want to have. You're just making the gaming experience worse for the paying customer. You're not making it better. You're making it worse, because now I don't have options anymore. So Riddler says, yeah, Microsoft Gaming is taking over the world. I don't know if you're trolling or whatever, but it still doesn't disprove my statement. If you're trolling, it doesn't disprove my statement. It's proof that they're just trying to control everything, and that's just something I'm never going to support.
Oh, on that note, let's get out of here. Let's do the roll call. Dolphy, thank you for watching. Nolan, thank you for watching. Ruben, thank you for watching. Who else we got? Roll up. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching. Whitney, thank you for watching. Malta, thank you for watching. Rosemite, thank you for watching. Anybody else? David, thank you for watching.
Okay, yeah.
I think that's it. Is there any new comments? I mean, to me, it sounds like you can't get into the club anymore without ID. I mean that's an interesting analogy. The problem is that I have ID, but you just told me to buy something more expensive. I have to get the super ID, and you didn't, and the problem is the people you changed the rules on. You didn't let them know. You didn't let them know. This came completely out of left field.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but you can't be promoting an exclusive racer and then pull this over people's eyes. That's something that needs to be done. That's something that needs to be done. Like, people need to know about that ahead of time. Like
And
that.
even if that's the case, the question I have for you, Riddler, you mean it? Are you telling me that no longer having the freedom of choice to pick what controller you want, no longer have the choice to pick a cheaper version, if you want to be frugal, or for the simple fact you just can't afford to pay 70 $80 controllers, that if you find a controller for 40, you pretty much saying that I no longer have that choice. You like seriously, Riddler, you don't think that those that's a bad thing? You don't think it's stupid that even if they're doing it for the greater good, which is, I think, is BS. But even if they are doing it for the greater good, because of people cheating and whatnot, I should at the very least be able to use these controllers on single player mode. At the least you could do is have me have access to these controllers on single player mode, and I can't even do that. Go ahead.
Pleading the fifth.
Yeah, dude, he's pleading the fifth, because I think he officially knows that I'm right and he's wrong.
He plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. Anything you say fifth, If you watch the Spell Show, you know what I'm talking about. So
okay.
lurking, you be lurking. So on that note, this will be 186. We'll talk to you guys later. Like I said, shout out to you guys for supporting us. And like I said, we'll be back next week with another episode, unless something weird happens. Unless something crazy happens, we'll be back with another episode. All right, so yeah, thank you, Malta. Have a good night to you too, bro. On that note, this is 186. I'm out.
All right. So yeah, if you guys can, if you could give us a real quick like, and that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, Malta, yeah. Good night to you, bro. Yeah, I mean, you didn't say anything about the whole Xbox thing. I thought you would really be in tune or have something to say about Xbox saying you can't use these certain controllers anymore. But yeah, good night to you guys. Good night to you, Nolan. If you guys could just before you go, give us a quick like and share to whatever platform that you guys have, whether if it's X, stupid name. I'm gonna just say Twitter, IG, or Facebook or whatever, Twitch, whatever it is that you guys have, share it so that more people can see it, and we will continue to make more. So with all that being said, God bless you all. This is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
All right, later, guys.